All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the stream. Welcome if you are new. Thank you guys so much for joining me today and waiting patiently, as always, for the intro to finish up. I hope everybody is doing well today. Ray immediately sees boss. I think he found a couple of rogue treats there that he's enjoying. He's like, oh, nice and early. But yeah, I hope everybody's doing well today. We do have a Discord now. Okay, so for anybody interested in joining the MBG community or the MBG Discord, it is linked above. It's pinned. All right. So feel free to check that out. I know a lot of people have been asking about it. I've been getting requests to do Discord for a long time now. Can't promise I'll be super active in there, but, you know, it'll be another place where the community can hang out. Boss is like, can I join? Rogue feed the beasts. Yeah. Oh, I see Mikey's talking about Resident Evil Outbreak. Oh, man. What a classic. I missed that game. Yeah, the Outbreak series is phenomenal. It's a shame that Capcom seemingly hasn't done much with it. They haven't done much. Lady Gamer, what's going on? Petrov. Yeah, so we have some interesting topics to go over and talk about today, guys. We have another leak regarding the upcoming PSSR 2.0 update for the PS5 Pro. We're going to be covering that, going over it. Hellbound, what's going on, man? Just a heads up, we do have a Discord now. So if you're interested in joining, it's pinned above. But yeah, we're going to be talking about this update. You know, there's a lot of talk, a lot of buzz going around right now about PSSR 2.0. We're also going to be talking about something that I think is incredibly exciting. It's actually happening tomorrow. The Resident Evil Showcase was announced by Capcom. So we're going to discuss that, and we're going to talk about Resident Evil 9 and what we hope to see, and just our, just our excitement levels for this, right? We're also going to be talking about Control Resonant. We have a post from Remedy hyping up this game. I mean, really hyping up this game. So we're going to talk about that as well, and we'll probably cover some other stuff along the way today. But yeah, really appreciate you guys joining Press X Podcast. Yeah, they confirmed the Pragmata demo is coming to console, but it hasn't been announced yet, but they say it's coming. I agree with that, Mikey. You're saying Outbreak was ahead of its time with the online, and it's stuck on the PlayStation 2 of all things. That's the craziest part. Yeah, it really was. It was ahead of its time. I think they did a really good job with Outbreak 1 and 2, actually capturing the essence of the early Resident Evil games, but making it multiplayer. It sounds like it shouldn't work, but they figured it out, man. They figured it out. Boss is looking majestic as ever. Schmidt says the return of Boss. He's back. He's back. He's looking tired, though. He's looking big as ever. I mean, geez. Yeah, he's a big boy. Chasing everything. Good morning. I'm doing okay. Yeah, I had a really terrible migraine yesterday, so sorry about that. It's Mafia the Old Country, man. Game gave me a migraine. I mean, I'm kidding. That's not what did it, but man, let me tell you, it's so funny. I talked about it in a video yesterday, but I make like an oath. I take an oath. I'm going to play more games in 2026. Part of that is I'm going to platinum more games. I was certain that Mafia the Old Country was going to be one of the easiest platinums, and I didn't look into it. You know? And yeah, it's not easy. 143 collectibles, bro. Chasing everything. Thank you so much for renewing your membership. Remaining at Greatness Awaits. I really appreciate that, buddy. And that will actually get us started today.
Thank you. Appreciate
Sure,
it.
get your soundbite there. Appreciate it, bud. Let me add that to the goal. But yeah, I'm currently playing Mafia the Old Country. And before we dive into these topics, I will just say that I beat it and it's a good game. Yeah, Mafia the Old Country is a very good game. What's really strange to me about it is how I feel like something happened along the way with the development of this title. And what I mean by that is they have this open world, right? They created this open world, but the game itself is linear, like when you're playing the story. And then they have all of this open world collectathon stuff to do beyond the story. And it just, I don't know, it feels so disconnected. Like it feels like it was a game that couldn't really decide what it wanted to be. I almost wonder if they were going for a more open world type experience, but something happened along the way, development wise. And they're like, actually, let's just make the story like linear, kind of on rails. Um, that's my guess anyway. But really enjoyed the story. Mafia the Old Country is a great story, great performances, good writing. The gameplay, pretty good overall, serviceable, a little clunky. Josh, you're saying I can be a mod for the Discord if needed. I spend most of my time on that app anyway. Yeah, Josh, when you join, I will. I don't know if you did already or not. I will make you a mod. The idea is, if you're a mod here, I'll make you a mod there too. Yeah, let me go see. Oh, there you go. Already done. There you go. Okay, good to see you joined. Hellbound joined. All right, good stuff. Thank you, Ghetto God. Thank you. Yeah, Ghetto God's he's on top of it. Appreciate that, man. Yeah, and Ghetto God, shout out to you, man. Thank you for the help with the Discord. Big shout out to Ghetto God. He did pretty much all the heavy lifting there, so I think it turned out good. Yeah, Lady Gamer, I saw you in there. Well, I hope for those of you who wanted Discord, I hope it makes you guys happy. I've gotten so many requests over the years for a proper Discord. I tried it once before, it didn't last very long, but this time I'm going to be sticking with it. So, appreciate you guys. Appreciate you guys pushing me to make it happen. Like we'll do it ourselves. But before we dive into any of today's topics, do me a favor, okay? If you want to support the channel in the easiest way possible, make sure you hit that like button. Okay, hitting the like button lets me know you enjoy the content and it helps with YouTube's algorithm. It will push the content out there in front of new viewers so we can continue to grow the community. So take a moment, hit that like button. If you want to support the channel directly, there are a few ways you can do that. Become a channel member. We're going to be doing, I don't know if it's going to be a morning with the misses. We might end up doing an evening with the misses because I don't know if we're going to be able to do it in the morning. So it might be an evening with the misses coming up. But we're going to have more members lounges as well. So consider becoming a member or renewing your membership. Consider dropping member gifts. If we hit 25, we'll feed the beast here. If we hit 50, I'll do some reps. Consider dropping a super chat or a direct donation. We're totally fan funded. I can only do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So a big thank you, as always, to those of you who support the channel, the community, and the content directly. Literally couldn't do it without you. And we have Mikey Moo. Mikey decides to renew their membership as well. And that's the second renewal of the day. So, Mikey, thank you so much for that. We just did a members lounge last week, which I think you might enjoy. We were talking about the Xbox One reveal and kind of reacting to that. And yeah, it was pretty interesting. So when you have the time, go check that out. Thank you, Mikey.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
But yeah, let's go over this information about PSSR 2.0. This is something we've been talking about for quite some time now. For those who don't know, although I think most of you do, there is a major update coming out for the PS5 Pro specifically, not the base PS5. And it's specifically going to be for PSSR or PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. I think that's what it is, Spectral Super Resolution. And this is a major overhaul. I mean, this is the next proper iteration, and it sounds like it's going to do a lot of good things for games on the PS5 Pro. Mike, you're saying you had me at reps. Well, hey, whatever does it, right? Whatever does it. As a contrast, I should react to the PS4 reveal. That's a good idea, actually. I should. I don't think I've ever actually reacted to the whole thing. I remember watching that back in 2013. Or was it 2012? 2012 or 2013, one or the other. I think it was 2013. And I don't think I've ever actually reacted to it on YouTube, though. What time is the showcase tomorrow? That's a great question. Let me actually check. So it says 2 p.m. Pacific time. So for me, that's going to be 5. For me, 5 p.m. Eastern time. So that'll probably be the last thing I do for the day, actually. We'll probably do a regular stream, and then we'll react to the showcase. Yeah, if you're in the UK, it's going to be 10 p.m. It's pretty late. It's not going to be a long showcase, though. Just a heads up. Apparently, it's only going to be about 12 or 13 minutes. That's what the description said anyway, so it's not going to be like an overly long. I imagine it's almost going to be like a state of play, like the way Sony does state of plays for some of their games, but for Resident Evil 9, Capcom, hosting it, obviously. Yeah, but probably between 12 and 14 minutes. They always run a little bit longer than what they say. So nothing too crazy there. Nothing too crazy. But yeah, so this PSSR update, if you're somebody who's still playing on the base PS5, you might think to yourself, well, this doesn't concern me. I shouldn't care about this, whatever. And, that's fair because this is not, again, going to be available on the base PS5. However, if you are somebody who is planning at any point in the future to upgrade eventually when the PlayStation 6 is out, you might want to follow PSSR and what's going on with the big update that's coming to the Pro, because what you're seeing here is something that's going to be available for the PlayStation 6. Although you would assume by the time the PlayStation 6 comes out, we'll probably be at like PSSR 3.0 or something like that. So, yeah, this update comes from, well, I got it from the Gaming Leaks and Rumors subreddit. It says PS5 Pro is getting PSSR 2.0 between January and March 2026. And I believe the source is a Japanese leaker, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not too sure about their track record, but they're revealing some interesting information here. MBG, I know this is off topic, but are you glad the PS6 is coming at a later date? Because I think the PS5 needs to shine. The PS6 is way too early. What are your thoughts? Well, we don't have any confirmation that the PS6 is delayed, right? But it's looking somewhat likely that Sony may delay it into, say, 2028, and it won't actually come out in 2027. And I think that sounds perfect, if I'm being honest. I've talked extensively about the PlayStation 6, probably more than anybody else, right? But one of the things we've talked about a lot is the timing of the release. And so many people feel as though the PS6 coming in 2027 is simply too soon. The important thing to understand, though, based off of everything that we know and everything that has leaked, the PlayStation 6 APU is going to be manufactured around mid-2027. That is something that is seemingly locked into a contractual agreement between Sony, AMD, and TSMC. They could maybe change that contract if they really wanted to, but there's probably a lot of complications with that. So they're very likely not going to change that. So if the PlayStation 6 does get delayed, it means it's probably not going to get delayed by a massive amount of time. I think some people were thinking like, oh, PS6 2029, 2030. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's possible at this point. The absolute latest I could see the PlayStation 6 coming out is November 2028. And that would essentially equate to a 1-year delay. Because again, the APU for the PS6 is being manufactured, no matter what, seemingly, mid-2027. So if Sony does choose to delay it to holiday 2028, it means they'll just have to kind of sit there with them. And the only reason they would do that is because they would be waiting for the price of RAM to go down so they can then sell this console at a relatively affordable price point. But there's no guarantee of any of this. There is still a good chance that the PS6 will come holiday 2027. And, you know, I'm kind of mixed on it, at this point in time. I feel like I would not be opposed to the idea of the PS5 generation being extended, even if it was by another year, to kind of pad it out a little bit more, give developers more time to get their games ready for the launch of the PlayStation 6, allow the PS5 to have more time in the sun, I guess you could say. Yeah, I'm not opposed to that, especially with how close we are to this big PSSR update. It's one of these things where I feel like 2027 will probably be the year where we're going to be getting the best results on the PS5 Pro. So, yeah, I mean, being able to just comfortably enjoy that for a whole year or 2 years for that matter would be great. I'm not opposed to that. However, on the flip side, if Sony does decide that they want to release the PlayStation 6 holiday 2027, I'll be there. I'm going to be a day one buyer. It's going to be exciting no matter what to me. And it's not something that I imagine everybody would be excited for. I think there would actually be quite a few people just like, I'm not interested at all. But it's like I've said time and time again, it's easy to dismiss the idea of a PlayStation 6 now. Because yeah, I don't need a PlayStation 6 right now. You probably don't need a PlayStation 6 right now. But let's see where we are after this year goes by. After we play Resident Evil, after we play Wolverine, Sorrows, GTA, and then in 2027 after we play Intergalactic and we have all of 2027, the lineup that's going to be there, both first and third party. It could very well be that by the time we get to holiday 2027, a lot more people are going to be like, well, the last 2 years of the PS5 were actually really good. So I'm more ready for the PS6 than I expected. Plus, you don't know what Sony's lineup is going to look like. So I know it was a long-winded answer, but I do feel as though the PlayStation 6 ultimately would benefit from a slight delay, maybe like a 6-month to 1 year delay. I think it would benefit from it. But I think if it does end up coming out at the time Sony wants to release it, a lot of people I think are going to forego it. But as long as they can lock it in at a relatively affordable price point, I think it'll be all right. Ultimately, I think it'll be all right. Do they install the RAM last? Well, the idea is they can, so traditionally, the way I understand it is Sony gives game devs an abundance of RAM in their dev kits. So when the PlayStation 6 dev kit goes out, it should ultimately have more RAM than what the final version of the PlayStation 6 will ship with. And the reason they do this is so developers can get an idea of how much RAM they're going to need for the type of games they're making. And if they end up needing more, like what happened with the PlayStation 4, Sony got feedback from developers that we need 8 gigabytes of RAM. Now, in the PS4 dev kit, I think there was more than 8 gigabytes of RAM, but basically Sony was hoping that devs would be able to make their games work on 4 gigabytes of RAM. So at the last minute, they had to make that decision. We're going with 8 gigabytes of RAM. I do also recall that there was a bit of a push and pull situation with the PS5 with RAM. I think the PS5 has 16 gigabytes, if I'm not mistaken. And I think there was talk about them going higher to like 24 potentially. But they were not sure like what to go with. And I think they ended up settling on the 16. So yeah, there's always kind of the RAM always seems to be kind of like the last piece that falls into place. And so that's why Sony has a significant amount of time to decide if they need to delay the PS6. They probably won't decide until, I mean, truthfully, close to the reveal, or when they're planning a reveal. Like they'll have to make that executive decision. Like, are we delaying it or are we going through with it? We're going to lock in the RAM because mass production probably won't begin until June, July, around there. So, yeah, I'd say probably like April, May of 2027 is when they'll they'll make that decision, because we have no idea. We have no idea what the RAM crisis is going to look like come this time next year. Sony doesn't know. I don't know. Even the RAM manufacturers don't even know. So it's anybody's guess. I would say just be prepared for anything. We're going to go over this leak in just a second. Start saving now. Yeah. Did I talk about Call of Duty flopping hard? I didn't talk about that. We could discuss that a little bit later on. Yeah, it sounds like Call of Duty's having a really rough go. It's not good. It's not good, man. We'll talk about that a little bit later. MBG, this is why I'm so happy to be a PS5 owner. It's the only platform that consistently gets better with updates regularly and puts out games, while other two stay stagnant and just raise prices. Damn. Well, that's the thing, MacTube. It is worth noting, and I think what you're kind of pointing out here is what we're seeing with PSSR is new in the console space. You know, this is the first time we've seen a first-party console manufacturer decide to implement a, machine learning based, algorithmic based, AI upscaler that can improve over time. And so what that means for the PS5 Pro is, what we're talking about right now, when this PSSR 2.0 update drops this month, next month, or March, if the rumor's to be believed or the leak is to be believed, my PS5 Pro is literally going to get better. And I didn't have to do anything, It just will, because it's all software based. Developers are going to be able to now implement PSSR 2.0 into their games, and it just means the games are going to get better. They're going to look better, and we're going to go over that. We're going to go over some of the details that are leaking here. And Rockfresh 1993 with a critical hit super sticker. Thank you so much for that, buddy. Always love to see the super stickers. And we have Mikey, a member for 19 months, saying a post that Capcom made for the Resident Evil showcase says, quote, some of the games, plural, shown aren't suitable for children, end quote. Residents of Evil on YouTube noticed too. Yeah, I saw that, and, it's natural that people are going to read into that. They're saying games, implying it's going to be more than just Resident Evil 9. But I do think, realistically, if we know anything about Capcom, they love to advertise their older games. Every time we watch the Game Awards or Summer Game Fest, or anytime Capcom shows up at any of these places, they end up inevitably kind of talking about Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 4 Remake, Resident Evil 7, Resident Evil Village. So, my assumption here, if you want to play it completely safe, is that they're probably going to mention that at some point, some kind of like sale or encourage people. Because my assumption with this Resident Evil showcase is it's going to focus on Leon. I mean, we've seen plenty of gameplay with Grace, so it's about time we see the full-blown Leon gameplay. They've been teasing it. And then after that, they're probably going to be like, well, if you want to, learn more about Leon's journey to this point, consider buying Resident Evil 2 or Resident Evil 4 Remake on the, on your storefront of choice. It's on sale now. I think that's probably what's going to happen. I can't imagine they would have any other. I mean, like, the only other thing that I would just ever so slightly entertain. Definitely not Outbreak. Oh, man. My heart says Outbreak, yo. I appreciate your enthusiasm, Mikey. I want to dream too sometimes, but I can't in this case. Although I will say the only other thing I will slightly entertain is this could be a multiplayer experience of some kind. If there's one thing we also know about Capcom is they love to continue to try to make different multiplayer experiences in the Resident Evil universe. Some have been absolute dumpster fires. Others, like Outbreak, or even the one that they shipped with Resident Evil 3, I forget the name of that, Resistance. Those were pretty good. Resistance was actually pretty fun. So they can make a fun multiplayer experience in the Resident Evil universe, but, could they have a little something lined up as, like, coming shortly after the release of Resident Evil 9 is so-and-so Resident Evil multiplayer experience that will be free for everybody who buys RE9. I could see that, but, and yeah, revealing that at a showcase would make sense, but I haven't heard anything. You know, there have been no rumors. There's been nothing talked about when it comes to a new multiplayer Resident Evil experience, as far as I'm aware. So I'm going to say keep your expectations tempered, Mikey. Keep them tempered. Yeah, dude. Oh my God. What if they're just like, anyway, Resident Evil Outbreak remastered or something? I'd lose my mind, bro. Matador 509 with a $10 super chat. Thank you for that, Matador. He says, hello, MBG. Off topic. You talked about trophy hunting. How do you decide if you will go for the platinum, and how do you approach it? I think it's a subject worth going into deep discussion. I'm so glad you asked, Matador. Well, actually, here's what I'll do, Matador. I'm going to answer that question. Before I do, though, I want to run down the list quickly of the PSSR 2.0 leak. And then, so here's what we'll do. I'm going to run down that list, break off from that. I'm going to answer your question. Then I'm going to come back to that list and speculate about it, okay? Just because I feel bad because people have been waiting for me to run down this list and I'm just sitting here. So the leak is as follows. The update for PSSR 2.0 is expected to release between January and March, so we're just weeks away from it. It says a feature very similar to FSR 4 will be implemented into the PS5 Pro. So essentially, it's going to have the equivalent of FSR 4 in terms of what PSSR's capability will be, which is really good. If you don't know anything about FSR 4, all you need to know is it's very, very good at making games look like bringing up games and you know, doing what an AI upscaler does very well. FSR 4's quality is very good. It says image quality and performance will be improved compared to before. So that's, I think, a given. It says here, and I think this is a big one for a lot of people, games that were previously limited to around 70 to 80 frames per second will actually now see even higher frame rates. So it seems like we're going to see more games getting closer to that 120 FPS. This is the big one that a lot of people were like, yo, what? They're like, what does this mean for games like Bloodborne and stuff like that? So it says low resolution classic games will also be upscaled to higher resolution. So we don't know how far this goes. We don't know if they're just talking about like PS1 and 2 games or if they're also talking about PS4 games, right? So they say they'll be upscaled. People are also kind of wondering if there's going to be any potential performance boost there. And then finally, it says there's going to be new debugging tools that will also be provided for developers. So in other words, those new tools for PSSR 2.0 should make it a lot easier for developers to max out what PSSR 2.0 is capable of. So this is the leak. I would say, given the timing of this leak, and they're saying it's coming between January and March, I think there's a PlayStation State of Play happening either at the end of this month or the beginning of February. I do wonder if that's where Sony would announce this. I wouldn't be surprised at all. That would actually make complete sense to me. So getting back to Matador 509, though, he says about trophy hunting, how do I decide if I will platinum a game and how do I approach it? God, that question is so difficult to unpack because I'm so neurotic when it comes to trophy hunting. But generally speaking, when I think about playing a new game, the idea of potentially obtaining the platinum trophy for that game, like getting the entire list of trophies done, makes the game more appealing to me. So I'll give you an example, right? When I think about Resident Evil 9, or, you know, I prefer to call it Resident Evil 9. I know a lot of people don't actually call it that, but which is weird. Like, so more people call it Requiem, but I just call it 9. Chris, you're saying you forget trophies exist. I wish. I wish I could be like you, Chris. I just can't, though. But when I think about a game like Resident Evil 9, right now, my most anticipated game, because it's so close, the idea of getting all of the trophies in that game and platinuming it adds to my anticipation. it's like two games in one, if that makes sense. This is why they call it the metagame. I know that when I first play Resident Evil 9, I'm just going to play it normally. I'm not looking at any trophy lists. I'm not doing anything. I'm just playing it completely naturally from start to finish. And I always like my first playthrough of games to just be totally organic, as if trophies. So I guess in a way, Chris, I do kind of do what you do, right? Where I kind of pretend the trophies don't even exist. I'll appreciate when I see the trophies pop if I unlock them along the way. But only after I complete the game normally do I then go look at the trophy list. And that's usually when I make the determination of I'm going to get this platinum, or I'm going to at least try to get this platinum, or in some instances, I will look over that trophy list and immediately decide, hell no, I'm not going for this platinum. And that disappoints me, to be honest. So like when I play a game that I enjoy, but then I look over the requirements to get the platinum and I realize this is just totally unrealistic. This is just something that I know I'm not going to do. It does deflate me a little bit because, again, going after those trophies and frankly getting a platinum for a game, it really makes it feel like the complete experience, the entire thing. When I don't get platinums for games that I play, I always am left with this slight feeling of, something's unfinished. Something isn't quite done, right? And it exists even with games that I've got the platinums for, but then there's a DLC. Like, for example, with Mafia the Old Country, I'm trying to platinum this game right now, and it's testing me, man. It's testing my patience. But I think I'll be able to get it, though. I think I will. But I look and I see they have a DLC for the free ride, free DLC that they launched, and I'm like, okay. And then I'm looking it over, and one of the trophies just for this DLC, not the platinum, but just for this DLC, is you have to complete the game in classic mode, and that's like a difficulty beyond hard mode. And I'm like, that just sounds painful and torturous, and like I wouldn't enjoy that at all. So it's like, okay, in this case, Matador, I will get the platinum for this game and be satisfied. Like, that's it. Mafia the Old Country, I completed it 100%. I just didn't do the free ride, DLC trophies. And that's it. Just like with Resident Evil 2 Remake, I just platinumed that recently. I tried to get some of the DLC trophies, but then there was this one trophy where you had to survive, like, it was like a bonus game mode where you had to survive like 100 waves of enemies in the very first area of Resident Evil 2 Remake where you're actually in the gas station. And I did a little bit of research into it. I'm like, maybe I could get that. After looking into it, people were like, this is the worst trophy ever, and this is ridiculous, and this is like, this is impossible. And I'm like, I'm not doing that. I don't want to completely ruin this game for myself, so I'm not doing that. So when I look over my trophy list and I see Resident Evil 2 Remake, it'll have the platinum there, and it'll say 95% complete. Does that 95% bother me? Yes. Does it bother me more than than it would if I actually tried to force myself to get that last 5%, knowing it would make me hate the game? No. So I have my limits here, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah, Matador, go ahead, man. Feel free. Feel free to share. MBG, what if the platinum is collecting 200 things and beating a game on hard in under 2 hours? See, stuff like that, it could be very annoying. Yeah, like the whole thing with Mafia the Old Country right now is, like I said, I'm really enjoying the game, and I like the game that they made. I'm just confused as to why, when the developers were making this game, they were like, what we should do? We should add 143 collectibles. I'm like, all right. I guess that's kind of normal. Developers add collectibles to their games all the time. Sometimes they add a ton of collectibles. I feel like 143 is overkill. I'm like, okay, that's kind of crazy for a game like this. But what's even crazier to me is, like, when I'm playing it in the free ride mode, so you can just roam around the entire map. When I'm doing this, and I'm having this realization that there's no mini map, and I had to just keep pausing to check the map. I'm like, that to me is just, and I know it's such a minor complaint, because it's like, well, you only you're only running into this problem because you're platinuming it. But at the same time, I'm like, I'm trying to think about people who just try to do everything in games, not even for platinums, but just completionists, right? And I feel like when a developer's making a game, surely they're thinking of that to a degree. Like when they're developing this stuff, they're doing it under the assumption that somebody's going to do this. And that's why I'm just so confused about Mafia the Old Country, because I'm like, the way the experience of getting these collectibles and roaming this open world has been crafted is so obtuse and just almost unnecessary compared to pretty much every other video game, like modern video game. I'm like, they had to have put the interns on this or something, or like the new, like the junior devs or the new hires, because I'm like, this is, I don't know. I question if anybody actually play tested it, because I'm like, I'm not asking for this to be like ABC 1, 2, 3 levels of easy. I'm just asking for basic things. Like if you're going to ask me to try to find 143 collectibles on this big map, give me a mini map so I don't have to press the options button literally every 10 seconds to see if I'm in anywhere near, if I'm going in the right direction, if I'm in the right spot. It just, I don't understand how that oversight occurs. But that's why I feel like something happened with the development of Mafia the Old Country, because it just feels a little bit disconnected. I'm like, the end game and the way that they're asking you to get these collectibles compared to your entire experience just playing Mafia the Old Country, I'm like, these things are so disconnected, it's crazy. Like, I'll give you this example, right? There are 50 newspapers you have to collect in this game. And as you're playing the story, again, it's like pretty much a linear story. There are 10 of these newspapers that are exclusive to the story missions. My question truly is like, okay, so somebody basically decided having 10 of these collectible newspapers scattered throughout the story missions was not enough. We now need to add 40 more to the free roam section of the game. And I'm like, why? You see what I'm saying? It's just like from a developer standpoint where it's like you're trying to add more content to the game. I'm like, but who wants this? Who is like, wow, I'm excited to collect 40 more newspapers. And it's going to be, again, it's like, I mean, look, maybe there is somebody out there who loves collectibles and they're like, I would love for there to be 100. But even if that's the case, it's like, you've made this so obtuse and frankly annoying to navigate and to discover. So I know I'm being really nitpicky here, and I want to make it clear this isn't a negative reflection on Mafia the Old Country, in my opinion, because the game is great. It's one of these titles where I just start to question the mentality of game developers, and like I'm trying to understand where they're coming from a development standpoint. Like, what inspired you to do this and why? You know, did they intend for people to find these collectibles organically? Well, so like the idea is, I guess the idea in Mafia the Old Country is you can at any moment when you're playing a game kind of go out and wander. But the thing is, there's really nothing for you to do. You know? So this is why I'm convinced that something happened with the development of this game where they made this map, but then they realized that, oh man, we have to like condense everything, or we have to like shorten the story or something, or like string it together more. Like we can't make these really super intricate, crazy mission designs that facilitate an open world design, right? It just, if something feels, I'm like curious about it. Like I would actually like to know what happened during the development of this game, because that's what I'm just confused about. The game looks good. If you want to go explore in Mafia the Old Country, again, you can. And the graphics look good, in my opinion. Like it's a cool looking game, and it feels like it's this, you know, I'm in like the early 1900s in Sicily, and it's very cool looking. But then it's like, okay, so like what can I do? It's like nothing. It's like literally nothing. It's like, well, you can go collect things. It's like, oh, okay. What are they? Like newspapers and fox statues. And I'm like, oh, okay. So you like, can I? Is there like something I can follow? No. Oh, okay. Yeah. Just so it almost feels like the devs had something else in mind and they just weren't able to do it. And so now you have this kind of disjointed, kind of awkwardly placed, I don't know, collectible metagame or of some kind that just feels like it doesn't belong. Um, and, you know, the free ride mode, I think, added some more content. So in the free ride mode, it opens up the world and you can do like races and bounties and stuff like that. So they clearly were working on stuff. But again, I feel like all that stuff that they made was supposed to be there at the launch. But I'm telling you, something must have happened with the development of this game. But I'm glad it got made. It was really good. I don't want this to be a turnoff to anybody. If you're considering playing Mafia the Old Country, if you like single player story driven games, it's fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I just will warn you, if you are somebody like me who likes to go for platinums, this game, you're going to have to watch multiple guides for collectibles and you're going to have to take your time and it's going to be very tedious. So if you don't mind that type of stuff, I think you'll be fine with it. Um, but yeah, if you like linear single player story driven games, you like games with good cinematics, good acting. The gameplay's okay. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you that the gameplay of Mafia the Old Country, it's serviceable. The knife fights are pretty fun, actually. I will say those are done well. Um, the shooting mechanics are pretty well done. It's a little bit clunky. But yeah, it's a really good game. I enjoyed it, and I'm now a Mafia fan. And Matador with a $20 super chat. Thank you for that, Matador. You're saying, oof. So maybe I am a masochist. First playthrough, I go in blind and just enjoy it for what it is. Then if the game doesn't suck, then I go for the platinum. Recently finished platinuming Ninja Gaiden 1 and 2, for example, exemption multiplayer trophies. You know what's so funny about you saying that, Matador, is that I actually usually, I don't want to say it's across the board, I usually don't mind multiplayer trophies. It just depends on what type of multiplayer trophy it is. Like if they put something like ridiculous where it's like get 20,000 kills or something, I'm like, okay, that's crazy. But there have been so many games or multiplayer games that I've gotten the platinum for. Like for example, a platinum I have is Dead by Daylight. That's a multiplayer only game. And that was such a difficult platinum to get. And all the trophies for the platinum, because they have like 300 DLC trophies, which at one point I attempted to get, and I'm like, this isn't happening. But just for the main platinum, they're all multiplayer. And I don't know, I had a great time. Some of it was a little bit stressful, but I just had a great time like grinding. They weren't really all grindable trophies either. Some of them were just luck based. So there were like definitely these multiplayer trophies that are like, oh my God, bro, what are you doing? What are you doing to us? But I can't help it. Like sometimes when I really get into a multiplayer game, and then again, there's that layer of getting the trophies. I was the same way with PUBG, come to think of it. PUBG was another game that I put a multiplayer game I put hundreds of hours into. And all the while I'm like, I'm chipping away at getting these trophies. And it makes it feel like two games in one. Blink twice if your platinum hits you. Mafia Definitive Edition looks smoother than Old Country. I will say a warning with Mafia the Old Country. If you're planning on playing it in performance mode, it's got some performance issues. There's so many frame drops, but I've just gotten used to it at this point. But again, I paid $38 for it, and the Mafia the Old Country is one of these games. It's one of these titles where I can tell like the passion from the devs was poured into telling a really good story, really good performances, and just having some fun, relatively fun gameplay along the way. And I'm like, yeah, I appreciate that. I do, because I feel like we don't. It's a game that feels like it's not trying too hard from that perspective. You know, it feels like it's just trying to be an overall enjoyable, fun game that has a really, I would say, in my opinion, memorable story. And I'm like, yeah, I can really appreciate that. I feel like we don't get enough of that these days. But yeah, I mean, if you are somebody who's really sensitive to stuff like frame drops, be careful with this one. Be very careful because, yeah, I put up a little bit of recorded gameplay yesterday, and somebody was like, "Are those frame drops the video or the game?" And I'm like, "No, that's the game, dude." Unfortunately, that's the game. And Matador with another $5 chat says, multiplayer is cool as long as the community isn't dead. It makes it impossible. Yeah, that's the other really dark side of the dark side of trophy hunting for multiplayer games is if you're going back to older games and there is no more community, yeah. Good luck. Good luck with that. You would think that they would just make it so you could automatically unlock them. You know what I mean? Like if we're talking about a multiplayer game that's like 6, 7, 8 years old, or like a tacked on multiplayer, they should just make it so when you boot up the game, it just automatically pops those trophies. You know, if there's no yeah, I mean sometimes even the servers get shut down, and it's like, what are you gonna do? When I am playing a game and I like it, then I'll platinum it, but I have to be having fun with the game and feel like I can't keep playing it. Yeah, right. That's a fine line for me with games where like I've had numerous times and this is it's really strange, right? Where there have been numerous times where I've reached that point with games where I'm like, I hate this game. Like honestly, Mafia has kind of become the next one in line where I'm like, I don't want to do this. And I made it. I'm like, I'm not doing it. The other day, I'm like, I'm not doing this. I like laughed out loud. I'm like, I'm not going to sit here and watch a guide for 100 collectibles, bro. Like, what am I doing here? And it's like, all right, walk away, give it another day. And it's just sitting there in the back of my mind. It's like, so you're giving up, huh? It's like, no. Yeah, I don't know. What do you mean? I'm not giving up. Like, it's ridiculous. I'm not doing that. It's like, all right, bro. All right. Basically, I'm a crazy person when it comes to platinum games, but it really is like that. It really is like that. Platinum achievement says you get over your crybaby tantrum over the platinum. Yo, I got platinum achievements in here. Oh God. Am I hallucinating? Is this real? Do you guys see this? Uh-oh. Guys, I think I may be having a psychotic break. We got platinum achievement. Platinum achievement with the platinum profile picture, bro. I ain't having no tantrum. No, you know what? It's all good. I'm a man up. I'm gonna get those collectibles. Do you have a platinum map for a game? Petrov, I don't understand the question. MBG, I haven't heard that the main boss of the Mafia family in Old Country should have been nominated for best performance. Or you're saying you've heard that? Do I agree? Yeah. Dude. So again, I think the performances in this game, like this was like a movie, bro, like in terms of how good the performances were and how authentic it felt. And one of the best performances was from the Don Teresi. He definitely was doing his best Godfather impression, and he was doing a really good job. And I think that all the actors and performers in this game did an excellent job, man. Like it is one of the better stories I played, and the writing was very good too. And so yeah, I could agree with that. The idea of the actor. I don't know the name of the actor who played Don Teresi, but him potentially people saying he should have been nominated as best performance. I can agree with that. He did really good. There's this one part of the game though. Shout out to those of you who know. If you know, you know. God, you know what? All right, I can't give the context of it because it's a spoiler. But all I'm going to say is that at some point, this character, Don Teresi, does a scream. He screams, and it's so funny because it didn't sound like the person. I knew it was the voice actor. It was so high pitched and sudden and out of nowhere. I'm like, whoa, that was weird. I don't know if for those of you who played and beat the game, I don't know if you know what I'm talking about, but I just remember kind of laughing out loud at that part. You're saying the ending was super generic and cliche, though? Yeah, but I mean, I can agree with that. It was a bit. But you know what? I appreciate that sometimes, though, right? Because it's like, oh, they're not trying to subvert my expectations. They're just, it is predictable and it can be a little bit underwhelming. But I guess it's the fact that I felt, I don't know, I guess I felt like the dynamic and the relationships between the characters was actually really well done. I'm like, this is so believable and this feels real. Like this feels like a real thing that happened. And I guess I just wasn't really expecting that. Like I was not expecting, since this was my first Mafia game, to walk away being like, wow, what a fantastic story. I expected to walk away being like, that was okay. So I appreciate that, with this. Now I'll tell you this, if the story was weak and the acting was like subpar, I think it does a lot of heavy lifting for this game. I think this game would have been completely mid, but it really elevates it, in my opinion. MBG, did I miss the PSSR 2 talk? I've been disappointed with my Pro the past few months. We talked about it a little bit earlier on, but I kind of got a little bit sidetracked here. But we're still kind of talking about it randomly. It's coming, Chris. It's coming. Prepare yourself. Michael, what's going on, man? Let me see here. PS Plus Premium is wild. It becomes a catalog of all third-party AAA bangers from a year or two ago. Yeah, I mean, I think Sony with PS Plus Extra and Premium has been doing a pretty good job. And I mean, I say that as somebody who's not subscribed, but I've looked it over a few times. And I'm like, wow, there's more than I would have thought. Like that was what was surprising me. I'm like, oh, I didn't realize like just how many games are here. So they do a pretty good job. Go for the platinum on stream. MBG, dude, I would not do that, Will. It would be so boring. Like I would literally just be sitting here. All right, I gotta watch this power picks. Okay, where is he at on the map? Okay. It would be so boring, dude. But I'll tell you what, the reason why I'm not going to give up on it, truthfully, is because it's one of these things where I started it, so I just got to finish it. If I had made the decision immediately after beating this game, after finding out that there's 143 collectibles, if I made the decision that, like, all right, just move on to the next game, I would. And I wouldn't have thought anything of it. I'm like, whatever. The problem is I started going for the collectibles, and then I had that little man baby tantrum where I'm like, I hate this. Like, this sucks. And then so I was like, I'm just gonna quit. But that's where I'm like, dude, you already got like 40, bro. Like, why not just finish it? You know what I mean? Like, you already started, just finish it. And I'm like, yeah. Because it feels even stranger to start it and then just walk away from it. It's like, bro, you literally scoured a third of this map. Why? At least get the plot. At least make it for something at this point. I'm like, all right, yeah. So that happens too sometimes. Michael says, please like the video. It allows other incels like myself to join the program. Thank you, Michael. Thank you. Yes, please like the video. By the way, Michael, I'm sure you're disappointed about the Eagles losing. I think you were here. We were streaming Sunday evening, and sorry, man. I'm sorry. Some games labeled Pro Enhanced quite literally had barely any or little to no upgrades. Yeah, I do think that Sony needs to do a better job of making sure that if devs are going to label their games Pro Enhanced, they have to do more than just the absolute bare minimum. I think it's a tough line for Sony to walk, though, because it's like they don't want to be too forceful with devs, because I think it's going to make devs get upset and be like, Sony's making us, they're mandating it. But yeah, no, Sony, I think Sony's realized that. I think that's why Sony's going to have a lot more tools for developers to utilize for PSSR 2.0. Because that could have been one of the bigger complaints is like there's just not enough tools, bro. Platinum Achievement says, what about Bobby SA codec and consoles failing? Consoles failing. I saw some things coming out about Bobby Kotick, and he was saying some weird stuff about Embracer, and he was talking about Call of Duty sales being down. Did he say something about consoles being dead or failing? I may have missed that. Give me a little bit of context here. A little bit of context. 1440p base PS5, 1800p OMG PS5 Pro enhanced. Well, I think listen, Chris, if everything we've heard about PSSR 2.0 is true, I'm trying not to like overhype it, but it's just everything we've heard. If it's true, can't prove it yet, that it will match FSR 4, then I think we're going to start seeing some really significant results with some bigger games. Because FSR 4, everything I've looked into at that, it's like right up there with DLSS now. It's like super impressive. So if Sony was able to make that much of a leap from see, that to me, that's what will make this update so interesting, is if PSSR 1 is like, on the lower end, and the first time Sony's jumping or diving into this, but then it shoots all the way up to where it's like now the second version is just suddenly matching something like FSR 4, that's good. That means they're making some serious progress in a very short period of time. And I'm sure that's with the help of AMD. I have no doubt about that. That's what this whole collaboration is about. Michael says it's all right. You win some and lose some. I don't let it affect my life. I'm fine, guys. I'm all right. I swear I'm good. I hate my life. Yeah, I was going to say, Michael, you sound like you're trying to convince yourself. Two Stone to Talk says, that's the only reason I didn't upgrade to a Pro. I felt like Sony is going to be aiming for the Pro, while third-party devs can either do nothing or at least the minimum. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens, because, my understanding is one of the bigger things that Sony's going to be pushing with this PSSR 2.0 update is it's going to incentivize devs to do more with the Pro, because it's that much simpler. I think one of the bigger mistakes that Sony made with the first version of PSSR, and I think it's just kind of something they had no choice but to do because it was the first iteration, is devs had to kind of do quite a bit of work to seamlessly implement PSSR into their game engine. And that's, I think, kind of the whole idea of PSSR 2.0 and this new tool set, is it should make it so that whatever problems you were potentially running into with PSSR and trying to put it and get it, into your engine and get it working smoothly with your engine, this will take care of that, no problem. That's the hope anyway, because that is something that has kind of, hurt it a little bit. MBG, you have an addict mentality when it comes to walking away from platinums, trying to convince yourself one more, it's not healthy. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. I don't know what to tell myself. I've tried to imagine. I have legitimately tried to envision what it would be like to play video games and not just pretend trophies don't exist. And I realize it does take something away from me, where it's like, this is what I meant earlier when I said it's like two games in one. And so to remove that entire layer, it automatically makes every game I'm playing feel not worse. It's not about that, but it's just there's like a whole top layer removed. So I don't know. I guess it's like, I mean, I don't know if I want to say that. I don't want to say trophies are the icing on the cake. That makes it sound too important. But I don't know. Trophies might be the icing on the cake, man. Where it's like, can I still enjoy cake without the icing? Yeah, delicious. But come on, man, where's the icing? Like, I'm like, now I'm used to, I don't know. Maybe that's a bad analogy. Maybe it's more like pepperoni on pizza. There we go. There we go. Yeah, that's a much better analogy. Because it's like, I can absolutely enjoy a plain slice of pizza. Sometimes it just hits, you know? I don't need anything else. But there's no denying, like, bro, you throw the pepperoni on there, you throw the sausage on there, it's like, come on. Come on. You ever going to go out of your way to order plain pizza now? He did say it was good to sell Activision with Call of Duty and consoles are failing. Sales are at an all-time low on consoles. I'm going to have to look into this. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I saw. It's weird seeing Bobby Kotick pop up again. Like, I'm like, I thought he was gone, dude. But I guess it makes sense that, yeah, at some point he was going to talk about the situation or the state of Call of Duty. Yeah, I swear, Gaming Survivor and Chris are going to have to, like, have a virtual boxing match or something, bro. Chris is always saying something. Gaming Survivor is always saying something. Gaming Survivor's like, Chris, stop talking about the PS5 Pro, you son of a bitch. You, was it Figgy Butana? Dude, I have so many of these, like, Italian, Sicilian words in my brain now from playing Mafia the Old Country. Like, I can't stop thinking about these words and saying them randomly. Gaming Survivors over here operating like this. We are part of the Mafia, bro. Let's see. So there's, like, Caruso or Carusu. This Caruso. I mean, I have to say with the accent, Caruso. Caruso. And I had to look up what this meant, and it just kind of meant, like, labor boy. Like boy or labor boy. Like a low-level laborer. I'm like, oh, okay. And then they kept saying in the game, Figgy Butana. They said that so many times. And I thought they were saying effing bitch. But it actually is the equivalent of, like, calling somebody a son of a bitch. Or just, like, yelling like son of a bitch. And there was a bunch of other ones too, and I'm like, this is great. I love this. Gaming Star's like, I'm making him a deal he can't refuse. Chris, you know what, Chris? Maybe you are a fanboy, huh? Maybe you are an Xbox fanboy. You come in here and be like, yo, MBG, let me tell you, MBG, the Xbox Ally is great. Fantastic. Meanwhile, PS5 Pro, what the hell's going on? What's going on with that Pro? Garbage. I'm busting your balls, Chris. I'm messing. The Animal. Oh yeah, thank you for letting me know, Ray. Yeah, Mrs. MBG was just talking about that. The Animal Crossing update. She actually pulled out her Switch, the Switch Lite, charging it up. I think she's going to be playing it. I haven't seen that thing in a while. You tell us he's a friend. Dude, oh my God. Gaming Survivor. I saw something else and it made me think of you for a moment. I'm not saying the context. I don't need to. And do not. We are talking video games. We're talking movies. But I'm just saying I saw somebody say, they put out a post and they were like, I didn't know. I shouldn't say. I shouldn't. I'm treading into territory I shouldn't be treading into. All I'm saying, bro, is somebody used an image of Judge Dredd, and it was in the context of something else that I'm not going to talk about, but I was that's it. I shouldn't even say anything, but it made me think of you, Gaming Survivor. We have a platinum achievement with a super chat saying, also, there's an app that basically turns Steam Deck into a PlayStation Portal. Can stream your PlayStation library on it. Well, for now, Sony will probably shit that down. They'll shut that down. I imagine Sony will go after that. I imagine they will. That would be shocking if they just let that be a thing. Because I mean, dude, if you could buy a Steam Deck and it basically turn into a PS Portal, I mean, yeah, that's Sony. I don't know. Sony's got quite a bit to worry about right now. Where the people are trying really hard to jailbreak the PS5, and I know Sony's worried about that. But I don't know. I mean, I have to look into these comments from Bobby Kotick, though. Let me see if I can find it. Bobby Kotick. Let's see. Okay, here we go. Former Activision boss Bobby Kotick has made a number of claims that state hold on. Got like multiple ads here popping up. Okay. He's made a number of claims about the state of his former company, Call of Duty, and the console market as part of a response to a lawsuit. Oh, okay. So that's why he's been talking. Kotick, who left Activision Blizzard at the end of 2023, having sold the company to Xbox maker Microsoft for $69 billion, is battling investors who claim that he rigged the sale to keep his job and $400 million in change of control benefits, and to insulate himself from claims he knew about widespread sexual harassment at Activision. Kotick has denied any wrongdoing. The investors are led by Swedish pension fund, blah, blah, blah. They've accused Kotick of rushing into a Microsoft merger and contend the $95 per share takeover price was too low from the outset. That's great. It's interesting that, I mean, I feel like Microsoft overpaid, but I guess from an investor standpoint, that would make sense. Anyway, it says here, as reported by GameFile, Bobby Kotick has now issued his response to the allegations. In it, he accuses Swedish game company Embracer, which owns the rights to the likes of Tomb Raider, Dead Island, and Lord of the Rings, of being involved with the lawsuit and benefiting from it, something the company has denied. Part of Kotick's defense, okay, and just another giant ad, oh my God. Part of Kotick's defense uses the declining financial performance of Activision Blizzard, Call of Duty, and the console market in recent years to back up his claim that selling to Microsoft at $95 a share was the right thing to do at the time. And one quote in particular is being picked up by the Call of Duty community as being of interest. Quote, today, given that console sales are at an all-time low and Call of Duty sales are off over 60% from the year prior, plaintiffs should be expressing extreme gratitude for the foresight Activision leadership demonstrated in consummating this transaction, end quote. As GameFile points out, Bobby Kotick failed to provide the evidence of his 60% sales decline claim, and neither Microsoft nor Activision have announced a sales figure for Black Ops 7 yet, but we do know that Black Ops 7 has struggled in terms compared to Black Ops 6, a fact reflected in everything from European sales figures to Activision's own admissions. Circana has reported that November full game dollar sales for Black Ops 7 finished below that of Black Ops 6 last November, with Black Ops 6's launch in the October 2024 tracking period. Okay. So the context of this is interesting and kind of unexpected. I didn't realize, I didn't know this was some kind of like a legal thing going on here. The internet is like a post-apocalyptic mega city one. Has to be dealt with an all-in-one judge, jury, and executioner. Well, yeah, this is I mean, I think if I had to guess, because I can't prove anything right or wrong here, right? This is one of these things where I feel like investors are mad because they're like, Bobby Kotick rushed this. We could have gotten richer than we are now. He was rushing it to protect himself. I mean, to me, that's believable. I have no doubt in my mind that the Activision sale was rushed because, yeah, we all know what was going on at the time. It looked like Bobby Kotick was going down, and it wasn't looking good for him. So, the idea of getting that golden parachute, as they call it. Yeah, I think it was now, but the thing is, what he's saying is kind of true, though, right? Like, I can't prove that Call of Duty sales are down 60%. I wouldn't be shocked if it was true. Battlefield 6 players are down 85%, also a big drop. Yeah, I'm starting to think Battlefield 6 was like, I love Battlefield 6, and I think, I'll be honest, I'm one of those players, though. Like, I fell off of it, and I don't know why. Like, I'm like, this game's great. This game's awesome. And then I just, like, stopped playing it. And I don't know why. I'm just like, I don't know if it's because it's like it's like, yeah, it feels like Battlefield 3 and 4, and, like, we're back. But then I don't know. I just was like, yeah, but I kind of been here. I don't know. I don't know why I dropped off of Battlefield, come to think of it. But it's interesting because I feel like maybe a lot of other people were in the exact same boat where they just kind of fell off. It probably still has a very healthy player base, though. I saw that they're bringing Season 2 next month. It does seem like the updates are a little bit on the slower side, but I think what he's saying about consoles, he's saying console sales are lower than ever. I mean, he's not wrong. He's not. I think some people maybe will not understand or not realize when Bobby Kotick says that, he's not just talking about one console. He's talking about Xbox, PlayStation, and Switch too. And the fact of the matter is, and I know how this sounds, it's like Xbox bad. I'm not. I'm just saying the actual fact of the matter is Xbox sales have fallen so badly that, yes, from a holistic point of view, it's dropped the entire console market. Now, to be fair, PlayStation sales, I think, they're starting to slow down. And Switch too. I just saw something else. Check this out. Let's see if I can find it. I was surprised to see this. I'm like, yo, what is going on? Because I remember a couple months ago, we were having conversations about this. Where is it? We were having conversations about what was going to happen with Nintendo in the coming months. Like, was the Switch 2 all hype? Was them breaking records? Like, was it just like, everything's front loaded? And I was seeing so much hate for Nintendo, and I'm like, well, I don't know if I can believe what people are saying, because if you look at the results, Nintendo's doing better than ever. But then I came across this from Genki Japan, and this comes via Sirkin Toto, which I'm hesitant with this guy. This guy seems, the only thing I know about the Sirkin Toto guys. Wait, hold on. Is this, I might have the wrong guy here. Never mind. This is not. Is this the guy? Listen, I'm just saying, there's this one person, this one journalist who works for Bloomberg. It's not Jason Schreier. I think he's Japanese. And he just, like, hates Sony, seemingly. I mean, he, like, always shits on Sony. And it's just, like, it's always been weird to me, because I'm like, it's hard to take any. No, not Christopher Dring. I forget his name. He was, like, I think it's something Makazuki or something. So this isn't the right guy. My bad. I almost confused him for somebody else. But anyway, this comes from Sirkin Toto. It says Nintendo's share price has fallen 33% since it reached an all-time high in August of 2025. Investors are concerned about possible price hikes, a lack of first-party hits, and hardware holiday discounts in the U.S. and European markets. Jeez, I mean, this is why I've had these conversations with you guys about, like, the state of the console market. When I talk to you guys about saying, like, the console wars, like, are over, because now it's every man for themselves. Microsoft said, screw it, we're done. Like, we don't care. Whatever, bro. We're not even going to fight to try to save this. and they just pivoted in a different direction now. Then you got Sony and Nintendo, and now I'm seeing this with Nintendo, and I'm like, oh, dude, Sony, you're in a. I told you guys, like Sony's gonna find themselves in a bit of a precarious situation where I don't, I don't think anybody can say with true certainty beyond the release of GTA 6. I have to emphasize that. Like going beyond, I would say 2027, I don't think anybody can truly predict what the console market's going to look like. And the reason for that, well, frankly, you can't really predict what any market's really going to look like. It's not just the console market. It's the reason for that is because of the economic turmoil, the uncertainty, just how everybody's trying to like predict where things are going to land. And yeah, it's all a bit all over the place. I will say though, the thing that falls in the favor of PlayStation right now and does not fall in the favor of Nintendo and probably won't mean much for Microsoft at the end of the day is that Sony seemingly will be able to close out at least the PS5 gen very strong. And that's not a guarantee that the PlayStation 6 will be just as good. That's not a guarantee at all. But it at least means that they have the rest of this gen that kind of like, they have Soros, Wolverine, Intergalactic. They have strong third parties like Resident Evil 9, Crimson Desert, all that, these big games coming out. But then you also have the monster, the looming juggernaut that is GTA 6. And I feel like, yeah, all that combined should, even if it's a little bit forceful, should push the PS5 to close out strong for Sony, to where it's like there's not going to be some sudden massive downfall, right? That, again, it just goes to show how much pressure has mounted for the PlayStation 6. And what this means for the Switch, I don't know. I can't even begin to predict. I saw somebody saying in response to this, now's a great time to buy Nintendo stock. And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know that I'd feel confident in that. Like I know that sounds shitty because it's like, oh, you're doubting Nintendo. It's just like, it's not even Nintendo I'm doubting. It's just, I've always kind of questioned, like, I've always had this lingering question, like, will the Switch 2 truly be like as big as the Switch 1? And I don't know. I just think Nintendo's had a weird track record forever now. I mean, after like the N64, like the track record was just weird and all over the place. So Prince G, a member for 22 months, says PlayStation is absolutely the best place to play Xbox, Xbots, and Nintendrones. Shout out to MB Gooners. Thank you for the MB Gooner shout out. Man, Prince G coming in aggressive today, straight up saying F the Xbots and Nintendrones. Bit aggressive, Prince, but appreciate the energy. By the way, guys, do me a favor. If you haven't, make sure you hit that like button. We're sitting at 76 likes. Let's see if we can push to get to 100 likes. I know Michael would appreciate that. 100 likes, guys. Platinum Achievement says Nintendo shares are ready to go up, MBG. This is the anniversary year for a lot of Nintendo products. A lot is expected. Shares will be back up to 100%. Yeah, I mean, the truth is I don't follow Nintendo closely enough to be able to determine if this is one of these things where it's just a temporary nosedive. I'm sure Sony's having their own problems too. I'm not giving a, stock market advice. Certainly not. I have no idea. I just wonder if the momentum for the Switch 2 will keep up, because it kind of has to. I'll be honest. Like, we want to see the Switch 2 do well, if anything, for the sake of, well, I mean, if you're a Nintendo fan, you want to see it do well. If you're a Switch 2 owner, you want to see it do well. But just if anything, even if you're somebody like me where I don't have a Switch 2 and I'm not really that interested in what Nintendo's doing, you want to see it do well so the console market can be as healthy as it can. Just like I want to continue to see the PS5 do well. Now that Xbox is kind of out of the equation in hardware, in a meaningful way, like it's safe to say some people will still buy Xboxes here and there, but it's going to be totally inconsequential, And I feel like, I don't know, man. I just kind of feel like we need to see the last remaining console manufacturers do as well as they can. Because if not, well, I mean, the market will just continue to shrink, the console market. But, a lot of people will tell you that it was always going to go that way. But I don't think there's any definitive determination for that. I think it really just comes down to, it depends on two things. It depends on how much Sony and Nintendo want to continue to push their own console hardware, and how well the market responds to that. And Platinum Achievement, you're saying no, PlayStation has been as big as the PS2. Can the PS5 do it? I don't think so. I mean, Sony would have to do something drastic, dude. Like, I think the concern for Sony at this point probably isn't, can the PS5 be as successful as the PS2, as much as it's, can we just make sure the PS5 hits 100 to 110 million and finishes strong, right? But if we're talking about having that greater level of ambition, like, can we do it? I mean, the greatest asset that Sony has is GTA 6. If Sony wanted to, they could easily get, I think, the PS5. Well, not easily. I don't want to say easily. That I'm exaggerating. I think they could make a really strong concerted effort to make the PS5 surpass 160 million sold. And the way in which you do that is kind of what we're seeing right now, except there's one major thing Sony isn't doing. So they're having they're having big first-party titles like Wolverine. They're going to be showing Intergalactic. They're probably going to be announcing the next God of War soon. Stuff like that from their own studios. You have massive third parties, like I said, but then you have GTA 6. GTA 6, again, it cannot be understated. Like, this game is PlayStation's greatest asset right now. It really is. And I don't think anybody would disagree with that. You have all these things that I think are, and then on top of that, you now have Halo, right? Like, PlayStation is now marketing Halo. What? Like, it's this crazy perfect storm, but there's one thing that Sony's not doing that I think I think Sony's trying real hard to avoid doing it, but it's like, if just pure unit sales were all that mattered, it's like, screw it, scorched earth. We want to go from 85 million PS5s to 125. Sony's not dropping the price. That is the biggest shift that has occurred. And there's many reasons why Sony isn't doing this, but the biggest one is because they don't want to subsidize it. They don't want to sell it at a loss. And you might ask yourself, well, how come Sony was okay selling their consoles at a loss previously? It's because they weren't. The biggest difference between the PlayStation 5 generation and every other PlayStation console is the components actually did get cheaper over time. Everything got smaller and it got cheaper. So Sony would be able to ultimately scale down the price alongside the price of those components and the size of those components. They can't do that this time because the price of the components are not going down. And it's also not shrinking as much. The PS5 was an absolute monster of a console in terms of just the sheer size and amount of material that went into it. And so the only thing that is really getting in the way from Sony dropping the console is that they seemingly are not willing to eat the cost on it. And I question how far Sony's willing to go here. Because if Sony were to come out, let's say, starting with Resident Evil, right? Like, since that's like the next big game dropping. And they're like, we're announcing a permanent price cut for the PS5. It's now going to be $300 across the board, or like $300 for the digital model, $350 for the disc model. If Sony did that, PS5s would fly. They would fucking fly. And especially with GTA 6 coming, they would fly. If Sony wanted to go just batshit crazy, where they're like, literally our only goal is to outsell the PS2, they could drop it even further. They could say digital model $250, disc model $300. And that would look insane because it would make every other piece of hardware look like crazy expensive next to it. But that's the thing. At what cost would Sony have to do that? At what cost would Sony have to get the PS5 to really start moving faster than the PS2, faster than the PS4? The cost would be significant. And so if you're looking at it from more a business-oriented standpoint, from Sony's perspective, like, would it be worth it? And that's kind of the tough part, right? Where it's like, well, it depends on what the end game is. I mean, in the long run, it might be worth it. The more hardware you have out there, the more games people will buy, the more subscribers you'll get, the more microtransactions. So it's the incentive, I think, is there. But again, if we're talking about like, I mean, I can't even begin to predict numbers, but a lot of money. Like, they're going to start bleeding a lot of money at the call, in the name of we just need to get this in people's homes. There's also the fact that Sony is in a position, and I'm not saying this is good, I'm just saying it's the reality. Sony's in the position where they're like, well, where else are you going to go? You know what I'm saying? Where it's like, if you want a console experience, you can either buy an Xbox, which people are not going to do, or you can buy a Switch 2, but you know it's not going to be a higher end console experience. It's going to be something that's middle of the road, or you could go to PC. And I think that's another big factor that's stopping Sony. And I'm sorry, Platinum Achievement, I missed your super chat. You're saying, like the Switch 1, anything after will always be compared to its successor for Nintendo. Sony had this problem since the PS2. Nothing reached its numbers. That's true. That's true. And, the thing I think Sony's probably focused on right now, more than anything, is trying to make sure that it doesn't fall too low. Like, I don't think Sony is out here operating like we're gonna break records soon. I don't think they are, because it's like, I mean, this would be a weird time to be thinking like that. I think what they're looking at is, well, there's a lot of turbulence, economically speaking. There's a lot of things getting in the way. And that's nothing new for this generation. The whole PS5 generation has been marred with just things getting in the way of the overall success or potential success of the PS5. So Sony's probably used to this by now, but they have this edge that they never had before. And I think if you're Sony, you probably want to see what this results in. I mean, let's face it, man. Who else can come out and say, at least for this year and maybe most of 2027, who else in the industry can say, if you buy this piece of hardware, you will get Wolverine, Halo, and GTA 6? Think about that for a second. Like, who else can say that? Nobody. And I think if you're Sony, you know that. You look at that and you say, well, maybe we don't have to lose a bunch of money. Because I think something we also have to keep in mind is, in the future, Sony can always drop the price, right? Like, I would want to see them do it now. But it's just, if you're somebody who's like, is the PS5 always going to be $500? Probably not. I mean, no, it's impossible. It's not going to always be $500. I don't think so. I mean, even if we're talking like 5 years from now, like, eventually you would think the PS5 will reach a point where you can just like go on Amazon and buy one for $200. I have to imagine that day will come. And the interesting thing about that is, like, the first thing you might assume is, well, yeah, but nobody's really going to care at that point. And that's where I'm like, I don't know about that. That's where I think things might be different. So, how, like, with the PS2 generation, one of the things it kind of did to hurt Sony, depends on how you view it, but it kind of hurt the PS3, is like, people didn't want to move from the PS2. They didn't want to move. And the PS2 being that successful made it really hard for Sony to move forward the reality that we're looking at potentially is that it's going to be okay for like a person to be like, I think I'm going to upgrade to the PS5 now 5 years from now in 2030 or something. Because I think the reality is the PS5 is, I want you to think about which console, I want you to tell me, because I don't know, which PlayStation console got the longest amount of support? Was the PS2? How long was the support for the PS2? I mean, the PS4 is still supported, for God's sakes, you know? The PS5 is going to make all that look like nothing. The PS5 is going to be supported for, I'm not even kidding, like probably like fucking 15 to 20 more years. So I guess I'm just saying that, like, in the long run, it might happen. It might. I mean, if it's just one of these things where the PS6, in the eyes of most gamers, is like, this is the last true PlayStation generation, that means every dev is still making PS5 games going into like 2034. I mean, it's possible, bro. I don't know, especially when you throw in the GTA 6 wild card. And Platinum Achievement, thank you for the super chats, buddy. You're saying, feel like I'm in the minority, but I feel like GTA 6 won't move tons of consoles. I think everyone who wants to buy it already has one. GTA gets 200 plus million sales on 5 because it's bought on multiple gens, PS3, 4, 5, PC, and Xboxes. That's true too. Yeah, I mean, I can't say you're, I don't know if I would say you're in the minority on that, because I guess it all just comes down to how bullish you're feeling about GTA 6. So, like, for me, I'm curious to, I don't really think it matters if I'm right or not. It won't matter if I'm right. But I'm curious to see if this assumption I have about GTA 6, and this is my assumption, and I know people do tend to kind of disagree. Some people agree, some people disagree. But some people think it's just kind of out there. My feeling on GTA 6, I think it's going to, what's the best way to word this? Like, I think it's going to be the equivalent, the gaming equivalent of like multiple nukes going off at once. It's going to suck. No, I think it's going to be the gaming equivalent of like multiple nukes dropping at one time. Like, I don't see it going any other way. Like, unless something really crazy goes wrong, like something wild where there's some kind of controversy around this game that just kills it or something, or, just something cataclysmically wrong occurs with this game leading up to its launch, then I could see this being wrong. But I think GTA 6 is like, I can't really give sales predictions. I think it's going to make GTA 5 look cute. That's what I'll say. I think that's what it's going to do. Because I think we look at GTA 5 and we're like, oh my God, what an effing monster. Now, again, I'm not saying that's all because of PlayStation. Not at all. I just mean, like, if just the way people are reacting, the reach, the sheer reach that a singular trailer of this game has, if that's anything to go by, like, let me see here. All right, so it says Grand Theft Auto. It says after only 13 hours, GTA 6's trailer has surpassed the record for most views on YouTube within 24 hours. It only and it's not, the only thing it's excluding is a music video. Okay. So if I go to YouTube and I type in like GTA 5 reveal trailer, how many? GTA 5's reveal trailer 14 years ago, 125 million views. GTA 6 reveal trailer has 271 million views in 2 years. So their second trailer 8 months ago has 146 million views. The second trailer, which is only 8 months old, already has more views in total on YouTube by almost another 25 million than GTA 5's original reveal trailer. And I'm just saying, like, that's fucking nuts. Okay? And I look at that and I'm like, something's brewing. Like, that's not normal. It's normal to see an increase in things. Like, okay, so like if GTA 5's reveal trailer after 14 years has 125 million, maybe GTA 6's after like 5 years has like 200 million. To see how far it's jumped, it's like something's going on. Something's going on here. Like, I would even garner that, like, dude, there are probably like young kids on like Fortnite and Roblox. They know about GTA 6. You know what I'm saying? Like, we often talk about like the younger generation and how they're like disconnected from a lot of the stuff that people like our age, like in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, even 50s, and what we talk about. I think GTA 6 is one of those things where it's like, no, everybody knows about it. Everybody, like the younger generation knows about it. The older generation knows about it. Everybody in between knows about it. And I think that's what's going to make it crazy. I mean, you see the memes of people, not even the memes, but the people who are like, yeah, I was in high school when GTA 5 came out. Now, now I got a kid. Maybe, I don't know. Like, now I got a kid that's old enough to ask me if they could play GTA 6 when it comes out. It's stuff like that where I'm like, you don't see that in such a profound way like you're seeing here with GTA 6. So I could be wrong. I could definitely be wrong. I'm wrong about a lot of shit all the time. But my gut feeling with GTA 6 tells me, like, we are not fucking ready for we are not, the industry is not ready for what's about. Like, dude, you're literally going to see people quit their job because they're like, I can't compete with this. GTA 6 is going to make people quit. It's going to make some game devs cancel their game. I'm telling you, bro. And Platinum Achievement, you're saying 80 million plus PS5s. Do you expect GTA to sell 80 million in the first month? Yes. No. So let's think. If GTA 6 comes out at the end of this year, PS5 will probably be around 95 million, assuming if there's not some massive slowdown. So anywhere between, like, I would say 93 and 98 million. That's a pretty wide gap there, but we don't know what things like Wolverine are going to do. We don't know how we don't know if there's going to be sales, but it'll definitely be over 90 million. All right, here's what I'll say. This is going to be a crazy prediction. I think GTA 6. So, okay, there's going to be, let's just say 90 million PS5s. And then I think there's 20. How many Xbox Series consoles are on the market? 25 million? Does that sound right? So let's just say, yeah. So by the time GTA 6 launches, it's only going to launch on these two consoles. I mean, we're looking at anywhere between like 120, 125, maybe, depending on how many series consoles have been sold, 130. It's like 125 million, I think we could say. 120, 25 million consoles between the two. I think you will see GTA 6. I'm not even kidding. I think you will see this game sell 40 million plus in a month. In a month across both consoles. I think the lion's share will be on PS5. So, like, if you want to break that 40 million down, I think you'll see 30 to 34 million, maybe like 30 million, I think, on PS5 potentially. And then the remaining 10 on Xbox. You know? And I think, I mean, dude, again, there's going to be 90 million. I don't know why people think that's not going to happen. Like, I don't think, you don't understand. Like, you don't understand, bro. you don't get it. You just don't get it, man. You think it's going to be 60 million? I mean, you have to keep in mind, like, what's going to stop somebody from buying this game? I'm serious, bro. Like, what's going to stop somebody from buying this game? People don't understand the hype wave that's coming. They don't understand. Like, it is a tsunami of hype. There's going to be people today that will look you dead in the face and say, I don't care about GTA. You're going to care. Oh, trust me, you're going to care come November 19th. There are going to be people who aren't even going to know why. They're just going to walk out of a store with a PS5 and GTA 6 and be like, what happened? They're not even going to know why. I'm just saying, that's what we're looking at, man. Like, I know it sounds like I'm overhyping GTA 6, but I'm telling you, GTA 6 is not, it's unlike anything we've ever, massive glazing. To be clear, I'm not an investor here. I don't have anything to gain from this. I'm just saying, like, dude, I've been following the games industry for a long time. There is nothing, any game you can think of. The only other game, shockingly, and this depresses me, but it's true, the only other game that you could argue might actually compete against GTA in terms of, like, its reach is maybe something like Roblox and Fortnite. That's about it. But I'm trying to say, like, the difference here, though, is GTA is not a game aimed towards kids. Kids will buy it. I was a kid when I played GTA Vice City. It is a game that's it's inadvertently directed towards kids because it's gonna catch their interest. But I just think, yeah, I got a lot of stock in Rockstar, bro. I'm all in. And Platinum Achievement, you're saying that's what I mean. The consoles are already bought. Well, yeah, you're not wrong about that. I think that, well, yeah, I guess that does kind of get into the greater question. I was, like, more focused on how GTA would perform, but in terms of consoles, I don't know. I mean, I'll be real with you, man. Like, I think it's a coin flip. I do. I think on one side, it's GTA isn't going to do much for console sales because it's like, yeah, people who wanted GTA on PlayStation already bought their PlayStations in preparation, or Xbox for that matter. No, we're going to talk a little bit more about Resident Evil. I mean, we've been kind of a little all over the place. This is the problem. See, I tried to do it again today. I tried to actually have, like, topics laid out, but it's just the nature of the live chat, man. Like, I end up just kind of going in so many different directions, which I don't mind. I just feel bad every time I try to make it seem like I'm locked into a singular topic. But we'll inevitably talk more about Resident Evil. Tomorrow we're going to talk a lot about Resident Evil. I guess I'm just saying, like, the coin flip is on one side, it's not going to do much for console sales. It's going to be okay. But, oh, yeah. It sold, it gave it a boost. A boost in Xbox, a boost in PlayStation. I think on the other side of that, it's the opposite. It's Sony is falling, the board of Sony are falling out of their chairs, and maybe even Microsoft, where it's like, dude, we're seeing an unprecedented uptick in console sales. Like, if I were Sony, this is what I would do. You ready? If I was Hideaki Nishino, I would have already been on the phone with Rockstar, with Strauss Zelnick. And I would be doing whatever is necessary to get the marketing rights. More importantly, a bundle. We got to make that happen. And I would be prepared knowing that GTA is going to launch that holiday. I'm like, we're going to eat it. Fuck it. Like, I would drop the PS5 to $200. And I will say, we will take a short-term, like, there won't even be a short-term loss because the amount of units we're going to sell, like, that's what I would do that. I would go all in and say, like, fuck it. This is never going to happen again. This is the only opportunity Sony's ever going to have where, like, if there was ever a time to just cut the price by hundreds of dollars and basically start giving these things away, now is the time. Now is the time. And I think if they did that, I get fired from Sony. Well, think about it. Think about it. Like, I would be that guy. I would get fired. I would, because you know what I'd do? I'd be like, he mentioned price cut, get him out of here. Now I'm going to say, we're going to sell more than the PS2. Get him out of here. But think about it. Think about it. Like, if you have a GTA 6 bundle, yeah, who the fuck am I? That's just not how they operate anymore. I hate to say it. They're not going to do that. Well, hold on though. We've seen Sony. I mean, we have seen them like do some crazy deals this gen. Not often, but I remember like recently in the UK, they're like selling it for like £280 or something. Which I'm like, dude, I think that might be the lowest they've ever made the PS5. So I don't know. It's possible. I just feel like if Sony, I just hope Sony is aware. They have to be. How could they not? If Hideaki Nishino is not aware of GTA 6, like, and I know that the way I'm speaking and the way I'm talking, it sounds like a bit too chaotic for the way that these companies, they're really buttoned up these days. You know, it's very cold and calculated, but it's just like, bro, Wolverine's going to be fantastic. Saros is going to be awesome. Games like Crimson Desert, you know, Resident Evil 9, you got Lego Batman coming. I mean, these are all going to do great, but it's like, I just hope Sony is aware. Like, I mean, they're paying attention to what Strauss-Zelnick is saying. Do you know how much money Strauss-Zelnick is telling investors they're going to make? It's crazy. It's crazy, dude. And this is why I'm just saying, like, if you're Sony, this game is going to go to PC eventually. This game is very likely going to, well, I don't know how likely it is it'll end up on Switch hardware, but it's going to go more places. When Jason Schreier said, like, GTA 6 is basically a PlayStation exclusive, it sounds like he's kind of shitting on Xbox, but he's not wrong. Like, the Xbox players that are going to buy GTA, I mean, it's fine. It's not at the detriment of Sony or anything like that, or Take-Two. It's just yeah, the overwhelming majority of people are going to be buying this thing. They're going to be looking to the PS5. The PS5 for a lot of people is going to be the GTA 6 machine. That's why I'm saying, if you're Sony, it's like, you got to know this isn't GTA 3. This isn't GTA Vice City. This isn't GTA San Andreas, man. Like, this is not GTA 5. This is something different. This is GTA 6. I mean, obviously, I'm just saying, it's like, so I hope Sony is aware of the golden opportunity. That's the best way I could describe it. It is a platinum opportunity. This is not GTA 1. This is not GTA 2. This is not GTA Liberty City Stories. But I just hope they're aware of, no, I know, Kaz Jam, I know it's literally not a PlayStation exclusive. I think the term, like, yeah, you can't call GTA 6 an exclusive. The best way I think to word it is, I would call GTA 6 a PlayStation dominant game. I'm not sure how else to describe it, where it's just it, and that's not even what matters. Like, what matters for Sony is that, again, you have this golden opportunity that will never exist again. It won't. A PlayStation featured game. Yeah, I'm not sure what you can't call it an exclusive. I don't know what, just PlayStation dominant game, I guess, you know. But that's the thing, is like, when we think about the history of Grand Theft Auto and PlayStation, we think about, like, oh yeah, you know, PS2 for San Andreas and GTA 3 and Vice City, like these games felt exclusive. They ultimately weren't exclusive, but they had that feeling to them where it's like, oh yeah, they're so synonymous. It's like Metal Gear Solid 1. Actually, no, I don't think it's like that because I don't think Metal Gear Solid 1. You get what I'm saying though, right? But the difference here is like GTA 6 is going to dump. Quite literally, it's going to dump. Just going to dump. No, it's going to it's going to dump all over GTA 3 Vice City San Andreas. It's going to make GTA 3 Vice City San Andreas literally look like beyond toddler's play, bro. Which is crazy to say because these are like rated M games, but I'm just saying, like, they're not comparable. This is unprecedented. It's unprecedented. People are not ready. I can't wait. It's going to be glorious. Rumors of GTA having age verification too. Dude, yeah, I could kind of see that. That could end up hurting it. In case you guys can't tell, I'm on my way to rebranding my channel to a GTA 6 channel. No, I'm just kidding. I wouldn't do that unless I actually wanted to. But in case you can't tell, I'm excited for GTA 6 because it's just like, dude, I just enjoy the ride, man. That's all I'm going to tell people because I'm not kidding when I say you're not. Like, I'm not saying there isn't going to be a GTA 7. I'm just saying that, like, when GTA 7 eventually happens, 100 years from now, it's not going to be like this. The law of diminishing returns, is going to impact GTA just as much, in the long run, just as much as it's impacting everything else. But for now, enjoy it because I don't know, Ghetto God. I haven't actually, I haven't heard anything about the age verification thing. I'm just saying I wouldn't be shocked the way things are going right now. You don't want Sony to win. We need competition in the market. I agree with that, but the question is who's going to deliver that competition? People are looking to Steam now, and I'm like, dude, I don't think Steam cares. I don't think Valve cares. Like, I think Valve, they're just doing, to a lot of people, Valve is winning. But Valve, in Valve's eyes, they're not winning anything because they're not competing in anything. They're just like, whatever, we're just doing our thing. And that's why Sony doesn't give a shit either, because I see so much, headbutting, I guess you could say, on the internet these days between Steam and PlayStation and Valve and Sony. And I'm like, dude, they're not, like, I'm not saying you can't have an opinion. You obviously can have Steam is better in this way or that way, or I like PlayStation better for this reason. It's in the context of the discussion about competition. For now, it's irrelevant. Would I like it to be more relevant? Yeah, that'd be great. But we can't make it that way. We can't make Valve want to go after Sony. We can't make Sony care about what Valve's doing. You know what I mean? If they're both in seemingly different lanes and they're both comfortable there, there's not much we as the consumer can do. I mean, everybody could move to Steam, or everybody, just Steam players could move to PlayStation, but that neither of those things seem to be happening. People are they are where they are. The dust has seemingly already settled, I should say. And we have Juan Shanks says, did you hear about the PS5 boot ROM key hack? Keys to the entire kingdom are up for grabs. Rip physical games. Wait, why are you saying rip physical games? What does that have to do with this? I did hear about that, and I don't know what Sony's going to do. Right now, as far as I understand, it hasn't been jailbroken. It's just a important component to making the jailbreak happen has been achieved. It seems like it's inevitably going to happen at some point. At the very least, it seems like Sony is going to have to make alterations to the APU of the PS5, but they can't do anything about the fact that there's already 85 million PS5 APUs that can be affected by this potential jailbreak. Can't do anything about that. Next playground and Nintendo providing serious competition. I'll be 33 in February. GTA 7, when it comes out, I'll no longer be here. Jeez. And Platinum Achievement, you're saying you are getting hyped for 6 when 7 will dump on it. Ain't no way. There ain't no way. I don't know what's going on anymore. Chris, I don't think that's true, dude. I don't think the PS4 was jailbroken. And my understanding is when the PS3 got jailbroken, I think when the PS3 got jailbroken, it really fucked things up for Sony for a while. The PS5 being jailbroken, I think, I mean, I'm not too familiar with like what can or can't be done, but Ghetto God, you'll be 39. PS2 and PS1 were also jailbroken almost immediately. Wait, the PS4 was jailbroken? Oh, I thought it wasn't. If the jailbreak is successful, the sales of the console will go bonkers. You think so? Y'all hitting retirement soon. By the way, guys, make sure you hit that like button. We are at 88 likes. Can we get to 100? Can we get to 100 likes? I'd really appreciate that. And we're doing good on everything but members today, which is fine. I'm not upset. It's okay. I'm fine. Okay, this is like the 4th person in my chat saying they'll be dead before GTA 7 releases. Jeez, man. It's getting dark in here. MBG Google AI says it was jailbroken, but what does AI know? Yeah, I don't know. It's all good, Kaz Jam. It's all good. Dude, it's how Bloodborne will be able to be played at 60 FPS. Or how Bloodborne can be played at 60 FPS on the PS4. MBG, now that you've beaten Old Country, you can finally get back to these games you never finished. FF16 DLC. I think it's safe to say I'm not going to be going back to that. Silent Hill F, Detroit Become Human. I probably should finish at some point. Kratos and Black Myth. Kratos looks good. I don't know if I'll be going back to Black Myth. I don't know. I wasn't. That game didn't really. I don't know. Something just didn't click with that game for me. I'm not sure why. Sponsorship's looking pretty good right about now. MBG, yeah, they're gonna make me do it. I'm gonna have to. I don't know. Actually, I haven't had any sponsors come my way recently, so. Uh-oh. It's looking a little spooky out here. No, it's okay. To be honest, like I will just straight up tell you guys. Like if we reach a point where I'm like, guys, I'm gonna need more support, or I'm just not gonna be able to do it, I will let you know. But yeah, I would turn to sponsorships before that. I mean, if it was a possibility. I mean, I know it's a common thing, like to seek out sponsorships. I could do that. I'd have to find which ones I'd feel okay with though, because there's just some that are like, damn. Wait, hold on. Wait, Tarnish, what are you talking about? My video from yesterday? You finally delved into the rage bait cycles? Wait, what do you mean? Are you talking about my video about trophy hunting? Chris says he's straight up upset that he bought Black Myth. Damn. That's pretty serious. Yeah, I'm gonna be sponsored by Game Pass soon enough. A hard jailbreak would be permanent. It pretty much allows you to copy and paste a friend's game or just download them from the internet and put them on the PS5 for free. See, like, that's what I'm saying. Like, surely there's something missing here where, like, there's no way that's going to happen. Like, that would literally destroy Sony's entire business with PlayStation. They would not be able to allow that to happen. So I'm just not sure what the end game here is. Like, I mean, people who are doing it because they just want to mess with stuff on their own, I think that's fine. I don't think that really hurts anything or anybody. But the idea of, like, people, like, destroying it, I don't know. It's like, well, get a sponsorship with Muscle Milk. Dude, Muscle Milk, I haven't heard that about that brand in a long time. Muscle Milk. I mean, yeah, it makes sense. You can't, oh, okay. You're saying you can't go online with it. They'll catch you. That makes sense. Yeah, Sony they'll find your ass. So it sounds like if people want to do it, they'd have to kind of do it on their own, like offline. Tarnish is saying, yes, your video yesterday, you were lamenting about platinum trophies. So more of those lamenting videos. You get 100K views for every vid. You'll be wealthier than Elon Musk in no time. Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. Yeah. I don't know. I don't even want to say it's a trend. It feels unfair to say, because there's, like, so many things actually worth complaining about right now. Like, I can't even deny that, but I'd rather what I do be a more honest reflection of how I'm living my life, just personally, where I understood when I made that video yesterday, like, that's not going to get any views. And the main reason is because it's such a niche, I mean, ultra niche thing to complain about, where it's like, bro, is this guy having a broad mental breakdown over trophies? What's going on here? And so I understood that, but trust me, I'm well aware. Like, I could make a video tomorrow titled PlayStation just isn't the same anymore. And I could literally just think of, like, 5 bullet points. I could make that video. I could record it in 10 minutes, probably unscripted. Just write down the bullet points and just say, just say the lines. Put a picture of a PS5, a picture of Jim Ryan smiling, some flames. Boom. Yeah, the algorithm will probably pick that video up. And then the next day I can make another video about Xbox. I could title it, The Death of Xbox. Same thing. Just a picture of an Xbox, get Phil Spencer smiling, more flames, maybe an explosion superimposed onto it. Got like 10 points I could write. But I don't know, man. It just feels like, one of these things where, but how much do I really feel like I want to complain about this thing? And the truth is a lot of the stuff that I see people complaining about, I do think most of it's valid. I do come across some stuff where I'm like, okay, that's a bit much, but yeah, it's back here. Ray, Mrs. MBG says she can't figure out how to answer you on Discord, but she said thanks for letting her know that the update for, was it Animal Crossing, is out. It's out today and not tomorrow. It's right here. Yep. But MBG piracy is the best. You don't own anything anyway. Seen someone lose their account on PlayStation because they charged back a purchase because Sony charged them twice for it. Jeez, everything lost. That's brutal, bro. Yeah, to me that's scary shit. that's another reason I don't like the idea of buying all my games digitally, because it's like, if anything were to happen where you broke the terms of service, even if it was accidental somehow, I mean, I don't know. I like to think the person you're referring to here could get their account back somehow. But I don't know, man. I'm not, when it comes to piracy, I'm not like that, man. I don't know. Like if I felt slighted enough, I could see myself getting to that point, but you know, I guess it's all just a matter of, like, one of the things is a lot of the things that people talk about with PlayStation, like the things that they don't like and they have a problem with. It's funny because I'm like, well, I don't really have that much of a problem with it, you know? Like, people sometimes get mad at me because I'm not raging enough at PlayStation. And the lament station. And I'm just like, well, I don't know, man. I guess it's just everybody has a different expectation. And for me, the biggest thing that Sony's let me down with this generation, I'd have to say, uh, more than anything, is how, I know it sounds funny, and a lot of people are going to think, you're thinking of something else in your mind right now. But for me, it was that I actually believed in them when they said that they were going to make good live service games, just to find out that they actually completely shit the bed. And yeah, like, so I was over here thinking, like, I'm going to have double the games. I'm going to have the single player games and the multiplayer games and the third party games. And yeah, the Helldivers 2 delivered. But outside of that, it's just like, well, now you're going to have less single player games than you otherwise would have. And the live service games we promised you, most of them are going to get canceled. And we'll see where it goes from there. Concord 2 will deliver. They never said they would release them, though. That's true. That is true. No. Jim did say to the shareholders by 2026. I don't know. Maybe it was worded funny. But, that's where it's like, for a lot of other people, the problems run deeper than that. Or not deeper, but are just in other areas. Like, the amount of people I've encountered, PlayStation fans, that is, that are like, yo, after Sony like closed Japan studio, that was just kind of it for me. And I'm like, when that happened, I did not realize how massive that was to the more hardcore PlayStation fan base of like, oh no, Jim Ryan done fucked up there. I didn't realize that. And I still see that today. I'm like, damn, dude. I didn't realize. I'm like, yeah, that had a major shockwave on so many hardcore PlayStation fans. Showing 96 likes on my end. Yeah, 4 more likes, 3 more likes. The From Software critique slot videos. PlayStation was a lifestyle between the 2000s and 2010s. And so, what I'm ultimately trying to say here is, because we're a little bit off topic. I'm probably going to have to mess with my title for this stream a little bit. I'm not jaded enough yet. I'm not. I'm not jaded enough yet. I'm not at this point yet where it's like everything sucks and like only this one thing is still good. I'm not there yet. I'm on my way. And Rick, shout out to Rick. He does the art for the channel. Shout out to Rick, bro. He puts up with so much of my crazy shit. He does. Thank you, Rick, for renewing your membership to the channel here. Was not expecting that. I'll give Rick a here we go. I'm sure that's how I've made him feel before. Certainly. Undoubtedly. Thank you, Rick, for putting up with my shit for so long. But yeah, by the way, the updated artwork you guys see for the channel this year, that's courtesy of Rick. He does a great job. The thumbnail style, all that stuff. Although I did go with something different today. And I don't know if it's working too well. I'm not sure. But thank you for that, man. Guys, we're at 3 members. 3. Appreciate it. I appreciate it. You're tarnished. What do you call a sickness? MBG, Nintendo has basically said if they see you talk shit about them or criticize, they will shut down your digital librarian account. Wait, what? That's crazy. Just for talking shit? Yeah, I saw that, Chris. I saw that. Yeah, EA just pulled the plug on it. Well, but yeah, guys, that's like my whole thing is I think now more than ever, you know, when it comes to talking about not just video games, it could be like any form of media, right? It could be any form of media. We're at a point where it feels like you have to basically pick one lane or the other. And those 2 lanes are you either love it or you hate it. And I do think the in between exists, but it is shrinking at like a rapid rate. And I do think a lot of it has to do with people, the kind of, I guess, knock on effect, if that's the right word to use or the right terminology, of everything that's happening in the economy, where people are feeling just more disgruntled and more frustrated. And, like now more than ever, they want to find certain communities, or if not communities, just channels or forms of content that are feels like they're speaking for you in a sense. And I've been there. That's why like one of the biggest things I'm known for. It's funny to me because people think it's like people think that I'm still like 2019 MBG or whatever. Where when I was complaining about Microsoft the way I was back then. What it was for a lot of people is, I mean, of course there were people who just wanted to hate on it for the sake of hating on it, but a lot of it was people like, yeah, like I've kind of reached my breaking point too, and I'm fed up with them too, and we need to get this message across and that type of stuff. And on the flip side of that, what PlayStation was doing at that time, it felt like, oh, they're doing it right. And it's funny because people needed to convince me of that, and they're like, we're trying to show you they're doing it right over here. Go check it out. That's why it's interesting to see the way things have played out these days, where, I do find it fascinating that there is a rise in, frankly, what Tarnished is kind of talking about here, this type of content where it's easier than ever to really just kind of put out these, I've clicked on so many videos, man, and I'm not even trying to be rude because it's not like I'm doing anything substantial either. Like I know my place here. And so I'm not trying to be offensive when I say this, but I've just clicked on so many videos over the last year where I'm like, great title, great thumbnail, definitely clickable. And then like the substance is not there, where it's like a video trying to tell me like why something is so bad, or why something isn't the same, or why something is, or even in some cases why something is great, but it's just like the points that they're bringing up. I'm like, that's it? Like that, really? And then I look at the view count and I look at, and I'm like, oh, okay, well, yeah, I guess, I don't know, I guess times have changed, And there's also the reality that YouTube as a platform is bigger than it's ever been. I mean, dude, everybody and their mother and their grandmother's now on YouTube making content, it's everybody's doing it. So it's I guess a natural thing that will occur where the more time that goes by, the more people that get on board, the more diverse it's going to become, for better or for worse in some instances, Anyway, the hell was I even talking about? You'd leave gaming before you got on the hate part. Why even stick around? Yeah, I mean, I understand sticking around for a little bit. Like, it makes sense to stick around if you're doing it in good faith, where you believe it will get better. this is why I think it's funny that like I still have this reputation that doesn't actually exist anymore, where it's like people chose not to believe me, and I don't blame them. I'm not blaming anybody. Where it's like you see some of the critique videos I was making about Microsoft and how harsh I was being. And a lot of people interpreted that as this bullshit. You don't care about Xbox. You don't like it. You don't want to see it get better. You're just a hater. And it really, like, ultimately never was that, because it's like, well, if you notice, the only time I actually really critique Xbox these days is if they're making the headlines and it's like, all right, well, we got to cover, let's see. Okay. So, Microsoft, they raised the price of Game Pass. We got to talk about that. It's like, that's just a part of the news cycle. But even then it's like, yeah, I don't care. Like I don't care, because it's like, it's like when we were reacting to that Act Man video, what was so funny, not funny, it was kind of funny, but interesting to me is I'm like, man, that really is like somebody in 2026 who's still trying to actually genuinely care about what Xbox was. And they like don't want to let go of it, and they don't want to believe that like it's completely over. But then they're like finally realizing, no, okay, no, this is a different Xbox. It's just different. It's changed. It's unrecognizable to a degree, Whether or not that's good or bad is up to the individual. But like for me, I think for me, it was not too long after, I think it was early 2024 for me, when like it became clear that, oh, they are going multi-platform. Like they're going third party. When that happened, that's when the big realization kind of dawned on me, like, oh, all right, well, I still want to see Microsoft make good games, but this idea of like fight to win me back and fight to bring me over to your like they're not doing that. They're like, no, dude, we just want you to buy our game at this point, bro. I'm like, oh, all right, well, I guess that's cool too, as long as the game is something I'm interested in. And that's where we are. So it's just like, it's funny because it's so funny to me when I think back, because I made so many videos, and it's like, you would think in those videos that I made, I was like, Microsoft, bring your games here. Like, stop with your fucking exclusives. Nobody cares. Release Gears and Halo and Forza over here. I never said that. I never said that once. I was like, please, like, do better, have a better offering. And it's funny because they did get a better offering by buying Bethesda and Activision, but they're like, yeah, we're not going to make it exclusive. I'm like, okay, well, PlayStation achievement, the blank mods have spoken. Wait, what's going on? Hold on. Hold on. So yeah, I think it's because you're using the term Nazi. Well, that's a term that's being probably used more than ever. Not more than ever, but let me check. Yeah, come on, bro. The Shadow Realm is beckoning. You're saying something I've noticed, and the problem now with gaming is worse and deeper than exclusives or corporations. Well, I mean, yeah, you're saying MBG, the industry always talks about the costs and finances, but they never think about the time available, How can I play 10, 60-hour games? That's true, too. That's true, too. Well, I mean, look, man, my whole thing is, again, I just think it's been an awkward transition from assuming that it's always going to be hyper competitive to realizing that the competition is taking a not even a backseat. The competition's in the trunk right now because now all these companies are just finding ways to keep a sustained growth, and it's like, oh, well, that kind of sucks. It's like, yeah, it does. Like, and that's why I understand like why people are saying what they're saying, you know. But this again, it always bleeds into a greater conversation of how when is enough enough, and I'm not going to be the one to try to determine that. It's not even my place to do so because I'm not running these companies. But when I just talk about PlayStation, when I talk about what I like about it, I don't think it's perfect. I don't think it's perfect. I think people do recognize that I have a resistance to playing in other places, and that's true. And it's not because I have like a major problem with these other places, which is why I don't complain about them. That's what I mean. Like that's kind of the thing is like I don't really complain about PC gaming because I don't do PC gaming. If I did it and I didn't enjoy it, I'd probably complain about it. But I tried it. I realized this isn't for me, and I decided to find something that was for me. Same thing with Nintendo. Like, the day I ever start complaining about Nintendo, like, then you can call me truly a grifter because it's like I don't care about Nintendo. Like, I cared about Nintendo when I was 9, and I'm not saying that, condescendingly. I'm saying that literally. Like, I cared about Nintendo when I was even then, I didn't even fucking care. I just saw something. I'm like, oh, that's cool. I never cared about Nintendo like that, man. I never have. And nothing's going to just make me care about Nintendo like that. I didn't grow up with Nintendo. I mean, I grew up with Nintendo literally in that they were around and they, I have to give Nintendo the credit that they were responsible for me having like my first true console experience. But it never really meant that much to me, truthfully. And that's why for me, like when I think of gaming, I know that this sounds maybe crazy to some people, but come on, dude. Like why can't it ever just be fucking normal? Like what white nationalists, bro? Okay. Come on, bro. Why can't we just be normal? Like what? I don't even I'm sitting here talking about Nintendo. Grooven, you're saying the only problem with gaming is people, for some reason, it's not showing what people bitch too much about literally everything. I mean, I also wonder how much of it is, I wonder how much of it is due to the proliferation of social media circles, in that I've noticed it's become pretty much normal to kind of gravitate, like not even gravitate. It'll pull you, like it'll be like a gravity that pulls you in. It's the algorithms, dude. That's what it is. It's the algorithms where it's like we're gonna show you what we think you like. You spend even just a moment watching something negative about something, or you engage with a negative post or a negative tweet or whatever, then that's all it's going to start showing you. And then I think it kind of preys on the natural sensibility of a human being, which is something that's very natural with the way human beings operate is if you look at like a field of flowers, because that's what we like to do, right? And it looks so great, and there's just so many beautiful flowers, everything's great, but there's like this big ass weed over there, just like one big weed. Your brain is gonna, like, you're gonna be like, what? Yeah, all these flowers are great, but like, what's up with that? Why? We got to do something about that. That's a problem. And that's kind of just the way our brains work. That's the way our minds work. And I feel like these algorithms and specifically the negativity cycle the hyper fixated negativity cycle and the loop, it really kind of it kind of exploits that. You know, it exploits that part of our mind where you could see 10 good things, but it's that one negative thing that's really going to get you. And that's why they call it rage bait, you know, because it's like, okay, well, how does that benefit these companies? How does that benefit YouTube and people who are trying to make money on YouTube? How does that benefit Twitter? People who are trying to make money on Twitter? How does that benefit any of this? It benefits it because it creates the most engagement. And I know what I'm saying is obvious to so many people, but it's just if you start to really look at it through that lens, you begin to realize like so much of this just isn't real. So much of it. That's why people throw around the term grifter so much. People just start to throw these terms around, and it's like they start to lose meaning because we're just really acknowledging a greater cycle that has begun and is in full swing and will likely end at some point and be replaced by something else. Oh, that's crazy, Diego. I didn't know that. Why? Why are they doing that? Yeah. Gaming Star, I know. I'm just used to it at this point. But, you know, I think there is a balance that maybe has been lost. And I think one of the reasons why that balance has been lost is because it's like when you encounter somebody who's like, I like this thing, and you could hate that thing, but like to what end? Like what purpose does it serve for you to impose that onto the person who enjoys the thing you hate? And listen, this gets into deeper issues going on around the world, but it's like, if we're just talking in the realm of video games, I always try to maintain like, listen, if there's something you're encountering that you really, I mean, it's really bothering you that much, you know, like take a break or walk away, or at the very least, search for something else. Because I understand that there's really only one form of not caring. And it's like if I say I hate Xbox, that's not really what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I don't care about Xbox anymore. And that's exactly what it means. It just means I don't care anymore. It means I used to, and that hatred was because I cared, because it's like you gotta get, but just like the way I am with PlayStation and their live service, and always freaking out about the fact that they canceled Blue Point's game and like, you know, they made just all these different things with PlayStation. It's because I still care. Just like if tomorrow it was announced that Soros was going to get delayed until, I don't know, like let's just say like September, I would complain. And I would be frustrated by that. I wouldn't lose my shit, but I would be like, damn. And you know why? It's because I care. It's because like, yeah, that was a game that I was really looking forward to, and I thought it was coming soon. Now it's actually like not coming until closer to the end of the year. Disappointed, you know? And that's because I deeply care about that game and that studio, and I've been anticipating it. If PlayStation tomorrow were to announce a $150 price increase on the PlayStation console, I would lose my mind and freak out, because it's like, dude, you're going to kill your own console by doing that. You're going to kill this platform by doing that, because you just priced everybody out, you know? And, you know, there will be people that'll be like, calm down, or it's not that bad, or why do you care? And it's like, I care because I think like what PlayStation is doing is pretty good, mostly. And the things that they're doing bad or poorly or struggling with, it's like, yeah, I like, there's a passion there, is what I'm trying to describe. I'm the darkness to your light. I mean, thank you, Michael. Thank you. I appreciate that. Gaming is about gaming. You got to park all the other stuff at the door. Yeah, and I don't mind. I don't mind if it sometimes wants to be turned into something else. It can be interesting. It can make it more interesting. But saying for me personally, none of that stuff is real. I love gaming, but I just can't even remotely get mad like that. I just go out more and find a different hobby. And yeah, that's the thing. I find it hard to actually get, like, people talk about that sometimes. They're like, MBG, how come you don't rant as much? Or like you lost your edge or whatever. And I realize it's because it's like, dude, I also, looking back, it's like I also kind of learned certain things about myself too, where like, yeah, I was like 6 or 7 years younger, you know, when I was doing some of my most unhinged rants, and I just realized that it's like I've kind of outgrown it a little bit. Where it's like, you know, I'm getting a little bit older, and I'm realizing that, like, yeah, dude, life is short, life is hard, and life has humbled me in that process. And I'm not trying to make it deep. It doesn't have to be that, but I'm just saying, like, I think for a lot of people, eventually you kind of get to this point where you're like, man, hating something, like, I mean, actually, like, being a genuinely, thoroughly angry, upset person requires an immense amount of energy. It really does. It takes a lot, and it will make you tired. And that's why it's like, listen, man, if you're really going to be that way, you should probably reserve it for something truly, and I mean truly important. Like, I'm talking like life or death type stuff, because anything else, you know, being that, I mean, that's why I say, like, dude, I'm not trying to be mean when I say this, and I'm not trying to like throw shade. I'm not, because if anything, I'm throwing it at my older self or my younger self. Is just like, dude, so much of it isn't real, bro. And I don't know if there's like an unspoken handshake, like we all kind of know, but so much of it is it exists in this awkward middle space where it's like they kind of want you to think this is real. And if you're naive enough, you might think it is, but it's like, no, this is an act. Like, this is not legitimate. And if you're wondering why that happens, it's because, well, people who are doing that, they're deeply incentivized. That's the type of stuff that gets the most financial reward or the most attention. It's called gas. Exactly. Simply put, it's called gaslighting. And I think what the sad part about that is it muddies the water. So you find it harder to discover, like, well, where is the true, authentic frustration? And that's the reality, is the true, authentic frustration isn't the person jumping around yelling or screaming or being overly animated with everything they do. It's not that. The real authentic criticism usually comes, and I have found this myself, in these quiet, more subdued, more just relaxed, like, let me tell you something that I find upsetting about this video game. You know? And it all goes back down to, it's not what you say, it's how you say it. I'm just saying the theatrics of it all. It's a real thing. And I'm not even looking down upon it. I only look down upon it if it's not understood that everybody knows this is not real. You know, like, we need to separate what's real from what's not. And I think there's just too many people involved, not just in gaming, but across the board, where it's like, some stuff is obviously like, yes, this is a satire, or this is just meant to be funny, and this is meant to be silly. Other stuff is very obvious, this is dead serious and authentic. But there's just this large gray area of like, okay, you know, it's like, all right, I don't know. And I think some people do it because they you know, it's like, if they're pressed about it, it's like, are you serious? Like, if it gets serious, they can be like, whoa, this is just a joke, bro. It's like, oh, now it's a joke. Gotcha. Yeah, we have Rick with a $5 super chat. He says, look up Will Sasso on Adam Ray's Dr. Phil show. The best conversation Arnold impression with subject change ramblings kills me. Anywho, FXbox. Yeah, we got Rick coming in here saying FXbox. He said, Will Sasso on Adam Ray's show. Dude, Will Sasso is amazing. By the way, for those who don't know, that Arnold soundbite that I play, where he's doing the crazy laugh or the crazy sound, that's actually that is Will Sasso. Bro, what is this? Will Sasso does his Jesse Ventura impression for Jesse Ventura. Dude, no way. Hold on. Sorry, I'm getting a little bit off the rails here. Yo, he does. Hold on, he does a Robert De Niro.
You know, in high school, Mrs. Gonzalez, she taught me about all the different geometries, you know, that they have. There's so many. There's a parallelogram.
I knew it. I knew this was coming.
The quadrilateral, the cube, the sphere. There's even the shapes like a rectangle, cube, you know, a circle. And the Mrs. Gonzalez, she taught me all of this. And now she's take her final resting place in a rectangular cuboid. That's a coffin shape. You know, in high school, Mrs.
Cube. I don't think that was the right clip, Rick, but holy shit. Dude, Will Sasso, he does one of the best Arnold impressions, man. He is good. He is good, man. Thank you for that, Rick. I'll have to see if I can find... I think I found the entire show. It's like a 2-hour podcast, though. I'll have to watch that on my own time. Dude, that makes me so happy, though. It makes me so happy that Will Sasso's still out here doing his Arnold impression. Because I first discovered him... Dude, yeah, I heard his Jesse Ventura before. I just saw an actual interview with Jesse Ventura recently, too, and I remember coming across Will Sasso impersonating him. I'm like, dude, this is crazy. But I remember Will Sasso from the original Mad TV days, and he was doing the God, man, he was doing all these different skits as Arnold, as Steven Seagal. I'm like, dude, the golden era of that type of skit comedy, man. MBG, you got to check out the video done by GQ with Arnold about his greatest roles. He talks a lot about his catchphrases. I saw that. Yeah, I know the exact video you're talking about. Arnold's such a legend. Mad TV, rest in peace, man. That Mad TV was so good. I thought Mad TV was so much better than Saturday Night Live. I got to be honest. Jake, that's crazy. Oh, In Living Color. I think that was a little bit before my time, but I've seen clips of that. I remember seeing quite a few clips of Jim Carrey in Living Color. Good times, man. Good times. Yeah, I feel like it's just not the same. I feel like the last... Oh my God, dude. I can't play this on my channel. My channel would actually get like taken down probably. But I recently came across a Chappelle Show clip. And this is actually kind of funny because of that last super chat I got. Do you guys remember the Chappelle Show skit of the the blind black white supremacist? Dude, it's some of the most unhinged, crazy shit I've ever seen, man. And I recently saw an unedited clip of that pop up recently, and I was fucking dying. I'm like, bro, I forgot how funny this Chappelle Show was. That is like it's like a goat show, man. Like one of the best ever. And then Key and Peele came after Chappelle Show, and I thought Key and Peele was amazing as well. So yeah, I'm not sure what there is today though. I feel like after Key and Peele, that was just kind of it. That kind of skit-based comedy. I mean, the Saturday Night Live still goes, but I don't know. Is it actually good anymore? I don't know. Ray knows, bro. It definitely was better. Living Color was out before I was born, but the repeats are gold. I'm gonna have to sit down and watch it one day. Yeah, because I've never like sat down and like watched like full episodes of In Living Color. I actually see on occasion, like, funny enough, I see like musical performances pop up from that show. I think I saw one. It was Megadeth recently. I'm like, what? Sick. Thank you, Jake. Yeah, I'll have to check that out. I didn't know they did a podcast together. We'll never get anything like it again. Sadly, no. Oh my God. Yeah, good stuff, man. Oh, I didn't know that, Ray. That's fascinating. J-Lo started as a dancer on In Living Color. Whoa. Oh my God. Oh, whoa. Oh, man. Okay. I love how Clark just doesn't care, dude. Well, Clark's here to say hi. Just don't flash him, man. Why's it gotta be like at the perfect angle for your backside, bro? Okay. Yeah, let's come over here. Over here. Look, I actually just found a treat. You don't want him? Rick, you're saying also, what the F is up with channel member gifts on iPhone? Still not working. Guess it's my fault for having a crapple iPhone. Yeah, I don't know, man. I saw people tell me before that don't bite me, boy. Don't bite me. They would tell me that apparently they can gift memberships from. All right, hold on, Rick. I'll answer in a second. I'm gonna do it in good faith. Good faith. I got my good faith treats here. Just a few. Just a few. Because he's like biting. There's a difference between him and Boss. Boss won't bite me. Boss is just like, all right, man. Clark, he's like, I'm from the streets, bro. I don't care. Yeah, I've had people tell me before that they've actually been able to gift memberships through their iPhone on other people's channels. And I looked deeply into it, and the only thing I figured out, and I don't even know how true it is, it's like eventually, it's just like an update that's been rolling out forever that just eventually one day, I don't know when, you'll be able to do that on my channel. But yeah, it's just the unfortunate reality that, yeah, as far as I'm aware, the only way, because people have done this before, but it's kind of annoying, and I don't recommend it. It's only for people who really it's their only means if they want to. But people sometimes do it through Google Chrome on Apple devices. But I don't know, man. You would think this would not be a problem. It's kind of shocking to me. It really is. Chris with a $2 chat says Mafia 1 Remake is $6. Highly recommend MBG. Yeah, I'm thinking about it. Chris. The only thing about it is, like, I don't know, man. With this Resident Evil showcase coming up, I'm like, do I want to play Resident Evil 4 again? But I just got done playing Resident Evil 2. I played the crap out of that. So I'm kind of in this weird space of, like, I don't know. I don't know what to play next. All right, Clark, come on, bro. Clark, why, man? His tail's going crazy. You can't drink that. That's coffee. You can't. Oh my God. You know this cat's from the streets, bro. He'll just. Okay, don't stretch. Why? Why are you doing this? This isn't how this works. He still doesn't understand. Okay. Bro just jumps. He just jumps. Clark scares me, man. I know he's from the streets. That's why he scares me. He doesn't care. He does not care. They talk about the hots. Oh, man. Do I want to know? Jake? Is there any connection between Mafia the Old Country and Mafia 1? That's kind of what I'd be curious about. Because, like I said, I really... dude, I don't know if there's going to be a sequel to Mafia. I don't want to, like, spoil anything, but I feel like there's going to be a sequel to Mafia the Old Country. What year does Mafia 1 take place? You're about to play the whole trilogy? Damn. Yeah, I'm tempted. MBG, off topic. What are your thoughts on OnlyFans? I don't really care, man. You know, like. Oh, Clark, what do you have to say? Hold on. Clark's got something to say. What do you think about OnlyFans? What? Did you guys hear that meow? Clark wants a lot of attention right now. He wants all the attention. He's biting me. Dude, you got some sharp ass teeth, bro. Oh my god. Why are your teeth that sharp? I mean, I know you're a cat, but sheesh. Yes, but only the lure. Some people are related. Okay. Yeah, see, yeah, I don't want to spoil anything about Mafia the Old Country, but the ending definitely had me kind of curious of like where things end up going. Bro, yo. Okay, Clark. Guys, this boy just trying to fight me. Like, Mafia 2 is your favorite so far? Oh, damn, Rick, you really tried too. That's crazy. Oh, it's your first time seeing Clark? Yeah. Yeah, he looks like a little tiger. He acts like one. He's the most the thing about Clark, dude, is I've watched so many videos online about cats. I mean, we've all watched the cat videos, and you see like the craziest behavior with some of these cats. I mean, truly like, wow, what a weird ass cat. Some of my cats like Boss and Luna and Leia, they've all done some weird things, but Clark is like out of a freaking cat video, man, that like with these 10-minute compilations, just the shit he does. I'm like, he does that side cat thing all the time and he'll like run around just like making these weird growling noises at nothing. It's funny as hell, but I worry about him though too, because he's reckless as hell, dude. Like, I don't know what he was doing living on the streets. I can only imagine what life was like out there. But he just has this reckless abandon. Like, ever since we brought him home, we have hardwood floors upstairs. He loves sliding on them. So my other cats are afraid to slide on them. You know, they like freak out if they lose traction. He does it for fun. He's running around like sliding around and shit, slamming. I'm like, bro, it's crazy. I'll tell you what, he barks. By the way, yeah, I'm starting to think that Clark actually hung around a lot of dogs because he barks. He sounds exactly like Yoshi, if you could call that a bark. But he does this kind of loud, quick, but it's like really loud, this quick chirp thing. And if you've ever heard that sound that Yoshi makes, it's like I don't know what to call it. You guys know what sound I'm talking about, right? I don't have to bring it up. The Yoshi sound. They got that from a cat, bro, because that's the exact sound he makes, and it freaks me out. What is this?
Ready for another mission, Helldivers?
Oh my, dude, there's no way you're showing me Mr. Bean and Helldivers 2. There ain't no way. Yo, by the way, has anybody heard from Irfan recently? I just thought of him because normally he sends me stuff too. I don't know if anything happened. He just hasn't been around recently, which is unusual. Like he's usually always here, man. The podcast is called Acting 101. Yeah, we'll have to keep an eye out. Yeah, that's what I'm hoping too, Chris. I wonder about that stuff because I see some of the crazy shit that's going on in the world right now, man. And, you know, that happens sometimes. Like, people just, and like Corey as well. Like, where's Corey been, bro? It's just, I always notice that when some people who are like always here and then they're just not for like a little bit of time, like, you know, just hope everything's cool. Hope everything's okay. We'll keep an eye out. Let me see here. Oh, okay. Right. He said that he was going to be in and out, but he didn't say why. Okay. All right. Well, that's good. I hope it's good. I want to see if I can bring this up. No way. What am I looking at here? Gaming Survivor, what are you showing me, man? What are you showing me? What are you showing me?
Ready for another mission, Helldiver?
Dude, I never thought I'd... Wow, oh my god. Mr. Bean is a legend. Ain't no way. Dude, these are so well edited. Dude. No way. No way. They got him in the recliner. No way. Amazing. These are too good. Oh no, Shrek joins. Homelander joins the Helldivers. Okay, I gotta watch that one. I gotta watch the Homelander one real quick. I know I'm not on camera. I didn't move my camera, but I just gotta see this too.
Hey, everyone. Freedom.
Freedom forever!
Freedom.
Come on now, you guys. Captain, you guys are the real heroes.
Homelander's so messed up, but man, what a character. Oh, dude, that is awesome.
I don't make mistakes. I'm not just like the rest of you. I'm stronger. I'm smarter. I'm better. I am better.
Dude, I love how he's just like talking to them. These are too good. What the fuck?
Fuck.
That's awesome, dude. Yeah. Helldivers is so perfect to meme on. It has been for the longest time. How is Helldivers doing? I covered Helldivers in my video today. They have another war bond. Is it still doing well? I don't know what the player counts look like these days. I haven't really been keeping up with it. Wait, no way. You're saying check out Mr. Bean in the Matrix? There ain't no way. What a crazy search. Mr. Bean Matrix. Oh, holy shit. Okay. Mr. Bean in the Avengers. Mr. Bean in Hogwarts. Mr. Bean arrests Chancellor Palpatine. What is... No. No. Okay, hold on. I think I found the... I know Mr. Bean in the Matrix sounds good. I think I just found the best one. I may have just found it. Bro. I don't know if this is good. I don't know. I just saw it and I'm like... I just want to see Mr. Bean interact with Arnold. Come on, man. What? I feel like this isn't good. All right, this isn't good. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. This isn't the best one. See what happens? I said it's the best one. It's the worst one. I'll show them. I'll bring up the Matrix one. I apologize. I failed you guys. Did he just take both? Oh my god. See, some of these are edited to a degree that's just absurd.
As you can see, we've had our eye on you for some time now, Mr. Baby.
Bro, what?
Holy shit.
Oh no. Okay.
Ah, you sweeting.
Dude, this is edited in the craziest way imaginable.
How?
He is the one.
Are you sweeting fucking punk?
Dude. God, The Matrix is such an amazing movie.
As if you were kissing her.
What is it?
Dude, they added The Matrix 2. Bro. Bro. That's nuts. Oh no, dude. Oh my god. Jim Carrey and Do I Do It? I don't know. We're so far off of the trail of gaming at this point. Shit. Jim Carrey and dude, they have Borat in Resident Evil 4. Fucking A. It's an dude, it is. It's an endless spiral. I'm not even on camera. Just oh wait, there's more at the end of The Matrix? Bro. No way. Jim Carrey in Star Wars. I'll do the Stranger. All right, I'll do one more. I'll do the Stranger Things one because they just did Stranger Things season 5. And that's it. That's it. I've gone completely off the rails. No way. All right, that one was good. Jim Carrey's so good, man. What a legend. It fits so good in some of those scenes. Like, holy shit, that was the best one. Anyway, video games. Check Santa Monica's Kratos voice actor. You think Dumb and Dumber's over? Dude, Dumb and Dumber's amazing. What an amazing movie. All right. Oh man. PS5 is hacked and Sony can't stop what's coming. Uh-oh. Sony made a big oopsie. Jeez, man. All right, what am I? So you were telling me to check the voice actor, Christopher Judge, right? Did he say something on Twitter? So the cable guy, yeah. Oh, Ryan. Wait, what the fuck? Ryan Hurst is Kratos in the show? Wasn't he Thor in the game? What? Hold on. You played dude, that's crazy. What I don't know what to think of this. Like, is that a good choice? I mean, he's got the voice. He's got the beard. All right, hold on. Let me see. Let me look up Ryan Hurst. I'm just wondering if I'm going to hear Thor now. So, yeah, he looks like a big dude. All right, let me bring up a picture so you guys can see. Hold on one sec. Wow, that's a twist, man. Well, here we go. This is the picture they used to announce it. I mean, shit. When they put him side by side like that, yeah, he's got that deep voice. That's a Kratos if I've ever seen one. Just gotta imagine him bald. Wow. Damn. Okay. I did not expect that, dude. That's so weird, isn't it? Though. You think he'll be great? He's 49. Definitely older Kratos for sure. Yeah. It must be so weird if you're Christopher Judge, where it's like, wait a second. Like, we're not going to get the. Oh, he's 6'4". Holy shit. Okay. Okay. I didn't realize he was that tall. Looks about right. Perfect fit. Yeah. I mean, shit, man. The only thing that I feel like is going to be tough is the voice, because I'm going to hear Thor the whole time. Wait, and then who they're going to get to play Thor? They're going to get Christopher Judge to play Thor. All right, Gaming Survivor. Take care, man. Appreciate you hanging out. They're going to get Christopher Judge to play Thor. That's now that would be the craziest twist. Shit, man. All right. Yeah, I'm down. It's funny because when we were speculating who could play Kratos, at no point I don't think Ryan Hurst ever came up once. I mean, I'm sure somebody mentioned him, but I don't recall. You think it's great for somebody who's actually experienced the games as opposed to some outside actor with zero clue? Yeah, he has that advantage for sure. And he must have impressed because, I mean, they probably had quite a few different actors. I would assume they had, considering how big of a show this is, they had quite a few different actors, you know. Why can't I think of the word? Try out for Kratos. What's the word I'm looking for? Audition. There. Yeah. Okay. I finally got it. Just took me longer than it should have. MRPD, you're saying, man, your stream did not show up on my profile page. It's all weird. Really? It didn't show up at all. It's still not showing up. What the? Hold on. Really? You know, I worry about that, man, because I feel like YouTube's been doing some fuckery with my channel lately. I'm not trying to be that person where it's like, YouTube and the damn algorithm, but I really feel like I really do feel like it's been kind of weird lately. I've been noticing some weird stuff. Let me go check something here. I'll tell you what, guys, make sure you're hitting that like button. We're at 88% like to dislike ratio. I think YouTube likes to see 90%. So I'm not saying that's the reason for it. I don't know. I'm just trying to hit that like button. Let's see if we can bump that up to 90%. It'll only help. It's not always bad. Walter Goggins never played Fallout, and he's awesome as a ghoul in Fallout. Granted, Kratos is way more of a developed character. Yeah, I mean, again, my only concern, and it's not even a major concern, but it's just, Christopher Judge, at least for like older Kratos, he has such a distinctive voice. And I mean, I will say, if you listen to Kratos and Thor, their interactions, they both have really deep voices, you know? I just wonder how similar. Like, I wonder if Ryan Hurst, when he did his audition, changed his voice a little bit so he doesn't sound like Thor. But he's let's listen to some lines. So Ryan Hurst voice. Okay, so this says same voice actor.
You seem like a calm and reasonable person. Are you? A calm and reasonable person. Name's Lobo. And... Nah.
Oh, he did. I didn't know he did the voice of Lobo. Here's Christopher Judge and Ryan Hurst talking about God of War.
I think I've told some of you at the table, when I was going through the script, I read this one particular line. I called Matt. I was like, dog, this line gonna go hard on Black Twitter. And the line was, death can have me, but it earns me. And I got goosebumps, like when I read it, I had to immediately call him. And it was just a dope line, but just the deeper meaning of it is like, I'm here till you come get me. There's a mission to be accomplished, and it's gonna get done.
For me, it was actually, it wasn't a line, it was just, it was when Thor died.
It's really, really low. I don't know if that's coming through. I don't know if you guys can. Yeah. I don't even know if you can hear it. He does sound a lot like Josh Brolin, actually. Now that you mention it. Yeah, dude. Holy shit. I'm like, when I was hearing him as Thor, I was always like, man, he reminds me of somebody. And that's exactly it. He reminds me of Josh Brolin. Dude, Thor sounds just like Thanos. All right. Well, there we go. We've got our God of War live action. This is going to be interesting. It's going to be really interesting. As soon as you heard that, you heard Josh Brolin straight away. Yeah, Josh Brolin's a great actor too, man. He's a legend. Damn. Well, I'll be excited, man. Who Christopher Judge as Atreus, maybe? Is that what we're thinking? Christopher Judge is Atreus, bro. What are we doing? Few more likes, by the way, guys. We're at 89%. We got 129 likes. Few more, we should get to 90. Yeah, they're going to have to shave his head. Christopher Judge is Freya. Damn. Yeah, I'm gonna have to probably retitle this stream with a different thumbnail because we went like way off track. I didn't even talk about Control Resonant, bro. What movies from Josh would you recommend? I mean, one of the first ones that comes to mind is No Country for Old Men. That movie's just incredible, and he was great in it. Oh, God, I actually didn't. I have to watch these movies. I've seen a bunch of clips. Yeah, Sicario. I haven't actually sat down and watched these movies. I've seen so many clips though. I feel like I have most of the movie put together, but I've seen clips with him in it. I'm like, damn. Um, what other? There's like an earlier one he was in, but Kevin Bacon was in it. Hollow Man. That's a fun movie. I saw that movie recently, Weapons, with him in it. He was good in that too. Perhaps part of the reason for not casting Christopher Judge was his back. Wasn't that the main reason Ragnarok got so delayed? Yeah. Yeah, apparently he has like a lot of back problems, even like trouble walking. The Goonies with young Josh Brolin. That's crazy, dude. Oh, wait, he was in that, Pepitor? American Gangster with Russell Crowe and Denzel Washington. Wait, Josh Brolin was in that? Oh, shit. Yeah, that movie was really good. No Country for Old Men is a must watch. Tarnished. Oh, remind me. Yeah. Remind me. Not. I've already reacted to enough videos. I got to see what's going to have to be edited out. Guys, we'll do like a 10-minute warning here, I guess. We'll wrap the stream up in about 10 or so minutes. So if you want to drop any more support, if you want to drop any memberships to help increase the goal, feel free to do that. If you want to drop any more super chats or direct donations, anything of that nature, feel free to do so. We got about 10 minutes. We'll wrap it up. Josh Brolin is younger. Agent K is legendary. I mean, he did a good job as Thanos, too. I know, he was like CGI, but he did great as Thanos. Luna's over here like, where are my treats? Luna's like, where are my treats? What's up, Luna? Really? She comes over licking her chops? That's funny. We'll give it a couple minutes, Luna. We'll give it a couple minutes. The US version of Old Boy. Haven't seen that. Yeah, I would like to see that. Have I watched Jack Saint's video? Oh, no. I have that on my watch later. I'll have to get around to that, Tarnish. It's a long one. Yeah, it's a long one. I'll have to check it out. Men in Black 3. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Josh Brolin, he's been in like a lot of random movies that he like didn't know or didn't realize he was in. Go check something here. 16 minutes ago, posted in the Gaming Leaks and Rumor subreddit, says Meta canceled a Harry Potter VR game according to Gamertag VR. Huh. Tom Henderson says original documentation suggested that Black Flag Resynced would begin marketing in January after the Prince of Persia remake's release. Shovelware publisher Thigh Games DE of Jumping Taco, Jumping Sushi, Jumping Burger series yoinked off of PlayStation Network by Sony, together with 1,194 of their other shovelware games. Oh, shit. I missed this. This is good news. They are the fourth largest publisher on PlayStation Network. This might have to do with the new collective safety rules by Nintendo, Sony, and Microsoft as a way to collectively tackle shovelware / AI slop in stores. The timing is curious. That's good though. Good. Get that shit. Get that shit out of here. You know what I mean? Like, we don't need that. And Lady K comes in and drops 5 membership gifts for you guys. Lady K.
Thank you. Appreciate
That's
it.
the first 5 of the day. Thank you so much for that. We are going to add that to the count, and that'll bring us up to 8. Lady K, I think, wants a member train. I think that's what's going on here. I don't know. We might. It happens. It happens sometimes. Hi all. To help MBG stream out, leave a comment, thought, or opinion. Helps the algorithm. Please do so. Yeah, guys, come back when the stream's done. Leave comments. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I can't even follow YouTube's algorithm anymore. They're all over the place. Let me see. Oh, yeah, I do have that up. And you guys are free to... So since Lady K dropped a couple of memberships, I'll give Luna a couple treats. There you go, Luna. She's waiting there patiently like a good girl, so I'll give her some. She's being good. Check out the general. Let me see. Oh, yo, that's crazy. Ghetto God, that's crazy. Hold on. Did you make that or did you find that? Dude, people are fast. What the hell? Bring it up. Here we go. Well, there you go. I mean, shit. Yeah, that's now we can see it. Oh, that's good, Ghetto God. Yeah, you did that quick. Sorry, my audio software stopped working, so my mic may have sounded different. You think Ryan Hurst would make a great Kratos for sure? What time do I plan to stream tomorrow for the showcase? I'll probably do a regular stream, and I might just stream until the showcase. Yeah. I will just go right into it. Or I'll stream normally for like 3 hours, cap it, and then put up another one just dedicated to the showcase. It's a short showcase, so I'm not sure. If I want to maximize viewership, I should probably do a separate one. You just platinumed Yote, Jake. Good job, man. Congrats. Yes, there is a Resident Evil showcase tomorrow. It's happening tomorrow at 5 p.m. Eastern. MBG, why did Miyazaki say Bloodborne is his strongest reflection? I think Elden Ring is better. Does that mean my opinion is objectively wrong? Help me. Yeah, you're wrong. No, I don't know. I mean, he loves Bloodborne, man. What's up, boss? Yeah, it's wrong. Bloodborne's better than Elden Ring. Yeah, I don't know. There's definitely some interesting comments from him. You went to watch an early screening of 28 Years Later. The Bone Temple was really good. Yeah, I want to see that, Dwayne. I really want to see that. Yeah, 28 Years Later, dude, the ending of that movie was wild. I'm like, what? I mean, that movie in general is kind of wild, but I enjoyed that movie more than I expected to. Honestly, I was a little bit nervous going into it, but I got to see the follow-up. Oh, dude, if they drop a demo, we're definitely playing it. Yeah, I didn't think about that. A Resident Evil 9 demo. Shit. All right, guys, we got like 4 minutes. Well, we got 5 minutes, actually. No, we got 4 minutes. I don't know. I feel bad. Lady K, she dropped 5. She's trying to get a member train. I don't know. I don't want to pressure you guys. I just never know. I never know. Oh yeah, Jake. I'll I'll try to check that out when I get the chance. I got to work on that Mafia Old Country Platinum. Yep. You might go back to Bloodborne and get the Platinum. Oh, hold on. Why is this? I never got the Platinum for Bloodborne. If they do a remake at some point, I'll try to get the Platinum. I don't know why I didn't get the Platinum. I think it's because I was late to it. Miyazaki loves Bloodborne more, but then he is coming from the creator side of view. He's not looking at it as a player. I mean, I can understand where Tarnish is coming from because, I mean, you would think like Elden Ring would be that. Where are we going in 3 minutes? I'm going to be wrapping the stream up in about 3 minutes. But yeah, I mean, dude, you would think that Elden Ring would be that game. But yeah, I don't know, man. Bloodborne, Miyazaki's always had really, 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 really positive things to say about Bloodborne. Like, he's always kind of made it seem like it was his favorite game. Well, so you good, man? You good? You all right? Just being kind of loud over there. God, boss is so fat. Boss, why are you that huge now, man? I haven't even really been giving you treats either. Sorry, I don't mean to offend. He's trying to find Clark. Clark's in here. He's like, I know he's here somewhere. Clark, come mess with boss. All right. Rockstar just announced they're launching an official modding marketplace called CFC Marketplace. Oh, shit. Oh, that's going to be big. Yeah. Big like boss here. You good? Boss, you're acting strange. What's wrong? Saying Plus has been great. Classics need to come out faster, but the offerings are on par. Better than Game Pass for cheaper. Really happy with it. Yeah, that's what I've been hearing from a lot of PS Plus Extra and Premium subscribers. Clark's making him feel uncomfortable. Okay, all right. You're chilling with me. Talking to the mic. Tell him you like your treats. Boss has to say his piece. Do you guys hear that? Is that coming through? I know. Never in a million years would I get these games on PS Plus. You prefer to buy in Perfect Image? We got some boss ASMR. Why are you so mad? Is Clark making you that mad? Bro. Why are you so upset? He's not even here. Boss has to complain about Elden Ring. Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Really? What else? What else you got to say about the Bloodborne versus Elden Ring debate? Okay. It's Clark. Clark's upsetting him. Clark's over there messing with him. I don't know. Like Clark seemingly like knows how he like talks to the cats. Like Clark was like over there chirping that whole time, and I guess he must have been trash talking Boss, and Boss is getting mad and upset. Yeah, we were just talking about that. Ryan Hurst as Kratos. Crazy, man. Neo Exodus, a member for 19 months, says, what do you think of Ryan Hurst being Kratos in the new God of War TV show? I think he'll be good. I think the only thing that's going to be a little bit off-putting is his voice. I think it's going to be hard not to hear Thor for people who played the game, you know? But everything else, I think he's got a good voice, you know? But I think he'll do a good job. I think it's good casting overall. The voice is the only thing that I think might throw some of the players of the game off a little bit. But as long as he captures the essence of Kratos, yeah. I mean, Thor kind of, you know, Thor had some Kratos energy. Absolutely. In the game. Check out the trailer I dropped in the gaming section of the Discord from soft game called Shadow Tower Abyss in your off time, not on stream. Yeah, guys, just a reminder, we do have a Discord now. If you want to join it, anybody can join. It's pinned in the comment at the top of the chat, okay? I mentioned it at the beginning of the stream, but mention it one more time here. Yeah, I think he'll do good. It's crazy to think Ryan Hurst was in Remember the Titans when Denzel was really young. Was he? Dude, I've seen that movie so many times. He was in that movie? Damn. All right, guys. I think that's going to wrap up today's stream. I'll probably have to alter the title and thumbnail a little bit because we went a little bit off track here. But there you go. Ray dropped the Discord link in the chat. If you guys want to join, feel free to do so. And that's it, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. Do I think Wolverine's going to get his own state of play? I do. Yeah, in spring. Appreciate you hanging out with me. Please do me a favor and make sure you hit that like button as you're heading out. Thank you to everybody who dropped support today. If you dropped any super chats, if you were new to your membership, became a member, dropped membership gifts, direct donations, all that stuff helps support the channel. I can only do what I do here because you guys make it possible. So thank you so much for that. And also want to give a shout out to Devil Shooter, who does the timestamps. Don't bite me. For the streams. If you guys see Devil Shooter in the comments, show him some love, give him some thanks. I know he appreciates it. Hey, whoa. No. Okay. Bro's trying to climb my monitor. Clark, you're going to have to... Okay. All right, guys, that's it. I'm going to end the stream before Clark causes mass chaos. He's biting me. Don't bite me. He thinks he's the alpha over here. He's like, I'm going to show you. All right, guys, that's it. Enjoy the rest of your day. I will catch you tomorrow in the next one. We'll also watch the Resident Evil showcase as well. All right, so until then, take care, everyone.